One Piece Avenging My Family, Eradicate All Celestial Dragons. Part 7. Are you kidding me? You're using a toy knife like that against my hawk? Fufufu, let me see how terrifying this man who is said to be more powerful than the Sea Overlord Rox is. Under Doflamingo's sunglasses, he stared at the two people intently, not daring to miss a single detail. According to the information he has, the Evil One is a more terrifying existence than the Sea Overlord Rox. You actually used that thing against Hawkeye? The other swordsmen present, Tashigi, Vista, Vice Admiral Flying Squirrel and others were stunned instantly. That's too exaggerated. Even if it's the extremely evil. The opponent is the world's #1 swordsman. Especially Zoro. When I first met Hawkeye, he used that small knife to kill me instantly. Now Luo Noa is facing Hawkeye and is actually using such a knife? Doesn't this mean that the gap between me and Hawkeye is even greater than the gap between Hawkeye and Luo Noa? How is that possible? He is the world's #1 swordsman. Even if he can't beat the legendary Overlord, the Evil One, the gap shouldn't be this big. Most people present felt that Luo Nu underestimated his enemy. Only Garp, Sengoku, and Crane, who had personally experienced that era and that great war, could be found. The 3 Marine Admirals also know that this is not too much. The world's #1 swordsman of this era is completely worthless in front of the Evil One. Interesting, I'm going to do it. The other swordsmen present felt that it was inappropriate, but Hawkeye, the person involved, had no complaints. Hawkeye is a person who is much higher in level than other swordsmen. I can totally feel the supreme swordsmanship in Luo Nua that no other swordsman can feel. That is the peak that I cannot even reach. Even myself, I am still far from it. The other party used this knife not to look down on me, but to make me realize the gap in reality. Bring it on. Luo Noa took out a knife and held it to his chest. The overwhelming sword power and Conqueror's domineering aura are released. Feel the terrifying power of that domineering aura and sword intent. Hawkeye didn't dare to test it, but went all out. All the knowledge I have gained over the years has been condensed into one point. That black knife at night gradually showed a terrifying sword intent. The ripples of domineering power continued to flow on the blade, exuding the aura of a great swordsman that made countless swordsmen tremble in fear. The wind was howling, and even the ground beneath Hawkeye's feet was shattered. At this moment, the black knife gave people the feeling that it was as if nothing in the world could be broken. Whoosh whoosh. The powerful sword intent, comparable to Conqueror's domineering power, almost made some weak-willed guys lose consciousness. Night. Chaos. Swish. Swing the knife. The slash rises from the ground. Hawkeye's slash is azure blue, like a blue flying bird. The sword energy contains the ultimate energy that can cut off a mountain. Not only that, wherever this slash passed, even the clouds in the sky were cut open with several cracks. Just like the name of the move, Heavenly Chaos. This is the slash of the world's greatest swordsman. The people present were amazed. Especially swordsmen like Zoro, Tashigi, Vista, and so on. He looked at the slash as if he were looking at a god. Eagle eyes is the lifelong pursuit of almost all swordsmen. Congratulations to the host for successfully picking up Night Tian 1. Your swordsmanship is indeed worthy of praise. Luo Nua also praised this sword intent. In terms of swordsmanship alone, Hawkeye might be better than any swordsman Luo Nua knows. Even includes the Golden Lion and the sword-wielding 5 elders. Of course, Golden Lion also possesses the terrifying ability of the float fruit, as well as Conquerors. In terms of overall strength, Hawkeye is not as good as Golden Lion. The next moment. Wait until the sword energy comes flying over. Swish. God-level armament domineering is attached to the pocket knife. Luo Noa just lightly picked it up. Crash, crash, crash. The sword energy was directly pierced by the pocket knife in Luo Noa's hand. It turned directly into mist. How could it be? Seeing this scene, Hawkeye was also stunned. My full-strength attack was actually broken so easily by the opponent. The gap is like a chasm. Bigger than I thought. Don't lose focus during the battle. My hawk! Luo No's voice rang out, and the next moment, he appeared in front of my hawk. Swish! A knife stabbed out. My hawk quickly held the black knife across his chest, barely blocking Luo No's knife. But Luo No's own strength has reached the overlord level, with infinite power. With the blessing of the fruit of power. Even though Hawkeye's black knife, Knight, was already across his chest, Luo No's toy knife continued to push Hawkeye back. Boom! Soon, unable to withstand such a powerful force, Hawkeye flew out. It hit the wall of the square in Maryford Bay hard, creating a deep pit. How could you use a toy knife like that to knock Hawkeye away? It's incredible! Seeing this scene, except for the veteran strongmen who had experienced the Rocks era, their expressions did not change. The rest of the people in Maryford were stunned. People all over the world were shocked. Those previous legends of one person killing 5 generals and surviving the siege of 20 generals are too far-fetched. Now they had seen it with their own eyes. What a terrifying existence this man is who can make Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Red Earl, Bullet and other legendary strong men willingly submit to him. Even a true Emperor-level warrior like Hawkeye wouldn't last long under his hands. And Luo No was using a toy knife. So Hawkeye can still survive a few more moves. If he pulls out that supreme sword, first-generation Kitetsu. I'm afraid victory or defeat will come faster. The world's #1 swordsman would not end up like this, but would be either dead or disabled. I lost. The reputation of the Evil One is well-deserved. I am convinced. Walking out of the deep pit, Hawkeye wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and said with a sincere heart, "He is indeed a powerful overlord. In addition to swordsmanship, his strength, dominance, and speed are all top-notch. If the opponent takes out the supreme sword, Hawkeye believed that even if he didn't die from the knife just now, he would be disabled for life. It's time to change the title of the world's greatest swordsman." Hawkeye then directly announced that he was no longer the world's greatest swordsman. After all, how could the world's greatest swordsman be stopped by a toy knife? The #1 swordsman has changed his master? So isn't that your goal, Zoro? The Straw Hat Pirates saw this and looked towards Zoro. Zoro has always taken Hawkeye as his highest goal. Everything is done to defeat Hawkeye. Now that Hawkeye is no longer the world's best swordsman, doesn't that mean Zoro's target has become Luo No? To face Luo No? Thinking of this, everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates couldn't help but shudder. They all looked at Zoro with sympathy. Zoro also had mixed feelings at the moment. Even as arrogant as he is, he doesn't believe he can beat Luo No, who can defeat Hawkeye with a toy knife. Your swordsmanship is indeed good. After me, you are the best swordsman in the world. Luo No also praised Hawkeye. Even Rayleigh today is probably not as good as Hawkeye in swordsmanship. Mr. Luo No is joking. In front of Mr. Luo No, how can I have the nerve to call myself the best swordsman? I originally thought that my swordsmanship was unrivaled in the world and that I would never meet an opponent. Now it seems that I was a little too narrow-minded. Hawkeye now feels that he was a bit of a frog in a well. I have never experienced the true peak, but I actually think I am invincible. I feel so guilty. It's rare for a strong person to have a humble attitude like yours. Luo No admires Hawkeye's character. Hawkeye felt a little embarrassed after being praised by Luo No. Now I have another unwelcome request. I hope Mr. Luo No can accept me as his apprentice. I want to improve my cultivation and swordsmanship by Mr. Luo No's side. Hawkeye immediately spoke, and the content shocked everyone. Originally, Hawkeye's purpose of going out to sea was to find the strongest swordsman. But when he truly stood at the pinnacle of the strongest swordsman, he discovered how boring life would be without a goal worth pursuing. I was so bored that I chased a bunch of weak pirates all the way from the Grand Line to the East China Sea. Now I finally found a man whose swordsmanship is far superior to mine. Hawkeye immediately felt that he had found his goal for the rest of his life. Even if I only learn a few moves from Mr. Luo No, I will be much stronger than before. Hey, Hawkeye actually wants to become my apprentice. Did I hear you right? Hawkeye's words once again made everyone at the scene dizzy. I don't accept apprentices, but if you just want to learn my swordsmanship, you can come aboard my ship. As for how much you can learn, it all depends on your own understanding. Luo Nuo had no interest in taking in apprentices. But if Hawkeye wanted to get on board, Luo Nuo would not refuse. Really? Then I'm welcome. After hearing what Luo Nuo said, Hawkeye was also extremely surprised. Although the other party clearly stated that he would not accept disciples, I was able to stay by this strong man's side, observe carefully, and practice seriously. It's also a rare opportunity. Hawkeye believes that he can make further breakthroughs in the way of the sword. After that, Hawkeye walked to the deck of the Moby Dick and stood behind Rayleigh, Bullet, Red Earl, and Bernie Walder. The meaning is very clear. He is now a member of the God Slayer Pirates. Damn, Hawkeye, if you join the God-Killer Pirates, your Shichibukai title will be automatically revoked. By then, you will be our Marine's enemy. Seeing this, Lieutenant General Flying Squirrel stood up and questioned. Haha, I've never cared about the title of Shichibukai. You can do whatever you want with it. Hawkeye snorted coldly, not taking the title of Shichibukai seriously at all. In fact, the title of Shichibukai is only possible because of a powerful general like Hawkeye, which allows it to be called one of the three major forces along with the 4 emperors and marines. Otherwise, Shichibukai wouldn't even have a general-level strongman to support it, and it would be nothing more than one of the 3 major forces. You! Admiral Flying Squirrel was speechless at Hawkeye's words. If we were to ask who among the Shichibukai cares least about the title of Shichibukai, it would probably be Hawkeye. After all, he is alone, without any power, and does not need to protect the country or the people. They don't even use their right to legally plunder, and they rely on growing their own food. No desire means strength. For someone like Hawkeye, who doesn't have the title of Shichibukai, the one who should be regretful is not Hawkeye, but the world government. Hawkeye is really good at judging the situation. See, Hawkeye joined the God Slayer Pirates. Another 7 warlords of the sea. Doflamingo couldn't help but be moved. After all, he had just witnessed with his own eyes the unreasonable strength of the Evil One. Even a general-level warrior like Hawkeye could not last more than a few minutes under his hands. Plus the group of monster-like pirates behind him. The world's pattern is about to change. What's more, the ultimate goal of the god-killing pirates, which is to kill all the celestial dragons, coincides with the goal in my heart. Those celestial dragons in the Holy Land Mary Joa have been sitting on the altar for too long. The next moment, Doflamingo also arrived in front of the Moby Dick. Mr. Luo Nuo, I am the middleman of the entire underground forces in New World, with strong financial resources and connections. If you don't mind, I also want to join the God Slayer Pirates. Faced with so many legends, Doflamingo introduced himself a little nervously. After all, anyone here can crush you to death with just a flick of their finger, so it's better to be careful. Doflamingo, you bastard! You actually want to join in? Seeing Doflamingo also actively want to join, the Marines can't hold back any longer. These Shichibukai are more idiotic than the others. In front of the Marine, he is about to rebel. Doflamingo, I know you, but with your ability, you can't be a formal crew member. You can be a trainee crew member with Jinbei, Crocodile, and Enel. Luo Nuo knew Doflamingo's past, and he was also a guy who hated the celestial dragons. Since he wanted to join actively, Luo Nuo would naturally not refuse. This guy's strength is also pretty good. Unlike Crocodile and Moria, who were unable to recover, he is still at the top. What's more, Luo Nuo also needs some important information in Doflamingo's hands. For example, information about Marihoa's national treasure. Shichibukai Doflamingo can only be a trainee crew member? Sea Knight Jinbei and Crocodile are also trainee crew members. After hearing the words, trainee crew member, the Marines present and people all over the world were stunned. They only now realized that these great pirates were just trainee crew members in the God Slayer Pirates. A pirate like Shichibukai can only serve as a trainee crew member. What a terrifying pirate group this is. FFFFFFF. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as I can get on this big ship. Doflamingo smiled and said, although he is a trainee, he is still a member of the ship. What's more, Jinbei and Crocodile are both trainee sailors, so it's not really unfair to himself. He actually agreed. Did I hear you right? What was even more unexpected was that Doflamingo agreed without even thinking about it. In addition to Doflamingo, even the Empress, Moria, decisively gave up her position and wanted to join the God Slayer pirates. Lord Luonua, I have always dreamed of meeting you. I never thought it would come true. Please let me do my part for you. The Empress looked at Luonua with some obsession. After all, she had been a slave in the Holy Land, and had seen and heard about the deeds of the extremely evil. Not to mention the Empress, who among those who have been slaves in the Holy Land does not know the name of the extremely evil? This is a terrifying existence that can make the Tianlong people piss themselves just by hearing its name. Luonua is also the spiritual totem of all those who have been slaves in the Holy Land. In response to the requests from the Empress and Moria, Luonua agreed. The strength of these two people is not bad. In his prime, Moria was a man who could compete with Kaido. The Empress has always been at her peak, or maybe she hasn't even reached her peak yet. At this point, of the 5 Shichibukai who participated in the public execution, except for Kuma, 4 of them changed sides on the spot and chose to join the God Slayer pirates. The reason why the bear did not turn against them was very simple. He made a pact with Vegapunk, and before his public execution, his personality was completely wiped out, turning him into a complete human weapon. This basically means that all the Shichibukai who could have switched sides have done so. He who knows the current affairs is a hero. These Shichibukai are also keenly aware that the times are changing dramatically. If you don't seize this opportunity, the times will ruthlessly abandon you. Shichibukai, these bastards! Pirates are really unreliable. But I still underestimated the shamelessness of these pirates, as they betrayed in front of the whole world. Although I fundamentally don't trust the Shichibukai pirates. But Zhang Gui and Garp did not expect that this group of people would be so shameless. Rebellion in front of the whole world. Now the God Slayer pirates have gained several more powerful fighters. What's more, there are considerable forces behind these Shichibukai. It has only been 3 days since Luonua showed up in the Sabaody archipelago. The strength of the god-killing pirates is constantly growing. Now it has grown into a behemoth that even Marine may not be able to face. The time has come! Every one of the god-killing pirates, listen up! All-out attack on Marine headquarters. Save Port Gastiers first. Defeat Marine as quickly as possible. The next batch of guests is coming. Roger has been very kind to him, and Luonua will never forget it. Now that his son is in trouble, Luonua will not stand idly by. Moreover, Luonua's observation Haki also sensed that many powerful people were rushing to Marineford. The 5 elders, the world government, cannot remain indifferent to my appearance. After the battle in the Valley of Gods, even Luonua dared not underestimate the strength of the world government. The distance between Marineford and the Holy Land of Marihoa is very close, so the best strategy is to defeat Marine first. Ha! It's finally about to begin. Marine! World government! Celestial dragons! Wake up! If you want to defeat the world government, you must start with the Marines. After all, they are the most powerful fighting force under the world government. If we can destroy the Marine here, the vitality of the world government will be seriously damaged. I never dreamed that all these old guys would get together. Following Luonua's order, Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Bullet, Red Earl, Burndy Wald and others laughed out loud. Looks like he's enjoying it very much. The next moment, these legendary pirates took action instantly. With a lineup like this, how can we possibly defeat them? With so many legendary pirates, is the world really going to end? Justice will be defeated. faced the unprecedented god-killing pirates group that has assembled several legendary pirates. The righteous men in the Marine were in a panic for a while, and many of them even retreated. Marine's morale instantly plummeted. It's not the Marine's fault. Who wouldn't be confused by this lineup? Even if you use justice to brainwash someone, it's useless. Marine! Do not retreat! Our presence in Mareford, located in the center of the world, has a profound meaning. Behind us stand the people of the world. If we retreat, who will protect those weak people? At the critical moment, it was Fleet Admiral Jean Gua who stood up. Yes, Sengoku Fleet Admiral is right. No matter how powerful evil is, justice will prevail over evil. We can't retreat here. We Marines are the symbol of justice. After a speech that hit the nail on the head, Marine's morale was somewhat stabilized. However, no matter how much inspirational chicken soup you say, you must face reality. Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Bullet, Red Earl, Burndy Walder, so many legends. Plus Hawkeye, Doflamingo, Crocodile, Jinbei and other Shichibukai strongmen. There are also many captains of the Whitebeard pirates, 43 captains. Even if morale is high, it is meaningless if the power disparity between the two sides is too great. Boom boom boom. Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Bullet, Red Earl, Burndy Wald, 5 legendary pirates, took the lead and rushed into the Marine camp. For a moment, it was like a tiger rushing into a flock of sheep. Even if Marine had 100,000 elite soldiers, facing these 5 legendary pirates, they could only passively take the beating. In an instant, nearly 1,000 Marines on the battlefield were defeated by these 5 legendary warriors. Combined with several powerful conquerors domineering, tens of thousands of Marines were knocked to the ground and lost consciousness. This is truly an incredible scene. Follow Dad. Save Ace. It seems like there's a chance. Ha! Follow the legendary pirates. Charge! Destroy Marine! Destroy Mareford! The Whitebeard pirates felt like they were dreaming. I can actually fight alongside so many legendary pirates. I dare not even think about it in my dreams. Is this the powerful appeal of the extremely evil criminal mentioned by my father? Next up, Captains Marco, Jaz, Vista, Izo, and 43 captains of their own ships followed the legendary pirates and rushed to the execution platform. We can't let them succeed. Garp! Marihoa's reinforcements are on the way. We must hold on. At this moment, Garp and Jean Gua, who originally had no intention of attacking, also became more aggressive and prepared to attack. Big Buddha Shock Wave. Iron Fist, Fist Bone. Sengoku and Garp, 2 strong men who have been guarding the Marine like totems, have taken action. They went to Whitebeard and Red Earl respectively. The strength of these 2 legendary pirates is even better than Rayleigh, Bullet, and Burndy Wald. They also have to be dealt with by 2 legendary Marines. Kulala! Sengoku! Let's have a showdown! Murakumo slash! Whitebeard chuckled, and because he was in a good mood, his momentum was somewhat restored to its peak. The Kusugawa Kuri in his hand is wrapped with Conqueror's entanglement, and combined with the power of the Tremor fruit. It collided violently with the shock wave of the giant Buddha that fell from the sky during the Warring States period. On the other side, the Red Earl, who is good at swordsmanship, draws out a special umbrella-shaped long sword. The battle between Garp and Iron Fist was fierce for a while. Justice will prevail. We must stop them here. Akainu did not back down and caught up. Ah la la! I have to use all my strength. Wow, how scary the god-killing pirates! The 2 Marine admirals, Akiji and Kizaru, who had been paddling in the original work, now had to go all out. 3 admirals of the Marine headquarters, Akainu, Akiji, and Kizaru also immediately confronted Bullet, Burndy Wald, and Rayleigh, 3 legendary pirates, who are also powerful generals. Boom boom boom. For a moment, it was like thunder and lightning hitting the ground. The clash of 10 Emperor-level warriors. Haki, fruit power, sword energy, frantic explosions, and the ultimate energy roaring continuously. Meriford became shaky in an instant. The land was broken into pieces, and even the Marine headquarters building was razed to the ground in the first place by the powerful explosion. Go straight to the execution platform, Marco. Now the Marine's strongest force has been tied up. This is the best opportunity to rescue Ace. Without the restraint of Marine Admiral-level combat power, the two captains of the Whitebird pirates, Jozu and Vista, immediately discovered a rare opportunity. Okay. That's exactly what I meant. Ace, wait for me. Marco nodded. He had waited too long for this moment. The next moment, the Phoenix turned into blue flames and rushed straight to the empty execution platform, where only two executioners and Ace were standing, who were stunned by Conqueror's domineering power. Marco! Seeing Marco coming, Ace felt mixed emotions for a moment. There is guilt, there is emotion, there is apology, there is excitement. It is extremely complicated. We must save Ace! At the same time, Straw Hat Boy Luffy also saw this scene and shouted. Stop dreaming, you little brats from the Whitebird pirates! And here's me! I'm also a Marine now! Boom! At the critical moment, a figure flashed to the top of the execution platform. The fierce armament hockey covered his wrist, and he struck Marco hard. The person who came was none other than the former Marine Admiral, Black Arm, Zephyr, who had been retiring to the second line and whose life goal was to train generations of Marine talents. Former Marine Admiral? Black Arm, Zephyr! The next moment, Marco's pupils suddenly contracted, and he immediately recognized that this was the former Marine Admiral. The strong Marine who protected the world in the last era, Black Arm Zephyr, along with Sengoku and Garp. At this time, Zepha's arm had been chopped off by pirates 2 years ago. Now he has installed a mechanical arm equipped with a sea stone crusher to facilitate his battles with ability users. Marco stretched out his hands, covered with armament hockey, and blocked Zepha's heavy punch. Boom! The fist and the domineering spirit blended together, and as soon as they collided, a huge wave of air erupted. The two sides secretly started a contest. Sea stone arms? Some abilities cannot be activated, Marco said with some difficulty, feeling the suppression from Zepha's mechanical arm. After dozens of seconds, Marco was defeated by Zepha in both strength and dominance, and fell from the air to the ground. I will not let you succeed! After Marco fell, Zepha also fell on the execution platform and stood guard beside Ace. Great momentum. Originally, Zepha was training Marine recruits on an island not far from Marineford. But after seeing the live broadcast, Zepha rushed back immediately. Zepha is far from being discouraged by Marine and still has a heart that yearns for justice. Appearing with Zephyr were two Marine headquarters vice admirals, who are also current admiral candidates. Momosaji, T-Pig. Even though the two of them were not true Emperor-level warriors, they were not far from being Emperor-level warriors. Momosaji, T-Pig. These two were originally responsible for guarding the Marines to prevent other pirates from taking advantage of the situation when the Marines were fully deployed and had no troops. This is why the two did not appear in the public execution in the original novel. However, the war situation has changed so much that the two of them have to give up their mission and come to defend Marineford. It's really exaggerated. It actually gathered so many legends together. Even the Shichibukai have switched sides. Is the reputation of the evil ones so great? Momosaji and Chatten also followed Zephyr to Marineford. The two general candidates were also shocked by the scene in Marineford. So many legendary pirates, plus Shichibukai, are on the same ship. The only group that can be compared to the god-killing pirates today is probably the Rocks Pirates, which is known as the most vicious pirate group in history. My Hawk, I'm here to stop you! Soon Momosaji, who is also a swordsman, immediately found Mihawk, who is also a swordsman. Momosaji draws out her famous sword Kenpyra, and collides with Hawkeye's Black Sword Knight. A showdown between two great sword masters. The ultimate confrontation between domineering and sword energy. The powerful air wave directly blew away all the weaker marine pirates around. Vice Admiral of Marine Headquarters, Admiral Candidate Momosaji, a rare strong man. After seeing the person coming, Hawkeye immediately recognized his opponent. Oh? Hawkeye, have you heard of me? Momosaji's tone was full of reluctance. As a heroic female swordsman, Hawkeye is also an opponent that Momosaji wants to challenge and defeat. Now that both sides have become enemies, it is even more necessary to defeat each other. It would be strange if you haven't heard of it. Hawkeye's tone was calm, even though his opponent was a woman. But as long as we step onto the battlefield, we are all swordsmen, and there is no such thing as male superiority or female inferiority. As long as they are strong enough to fight, Hawkeye is happy to help. The next moment, Hawkeye and Momosaji were fighting each other. The powerful arrogance and swordplay clashed, causing the iceberg created by Qing-Ji to shatter. You bastard Shichibukai, shameless pirates, are courting death! The next moment, Chatten also took the initiative to confront Heavenly Yiksha, Doflamingo. FFFFFFFF General Candidate, Chatten, here comes a guy who can fight pretty well. Doflamingo sneered. With his own strength, it would be difficult to defeat the General Candidate. But it's absolutely okay to delay for a while. Super Whip! Doflamingo launched a wave of dozens of nearly transparent threads that gathered together to form a thick line. With the armed color domineering, this attack can cut off a tall building. The Super Whip was also swung fiercely towards Chatten. Armament Haki, hardening. Chatten was not in a hurry, and also covered his arms with Armament Haki, easily blocking Doflamingo's Super Whip. Boom! The two sides immediately fought against each other. The airflow was like a typhoon, spreading in all directions. Crocodile! Sea Knight Jinbei! And Gecko Mariah! Pirate Queen Boa Hancock! And the captains under Whitebeard! Leave these people to us. I will never let you take a single step forward. Next up, the elite vice admirals of the Marine Headquarters. Flying Squirrel, Burning Mountain, Ghost Spider, Stalaberry, Galmeyer, Sturres, Dalmesia, and other strong men. A total of 16 elite lieutenant generals from the Marine Headquarters. In addition, there are lieutenant generals from the headquarters who were transferred from branch bases in various places. A total of 23 Marine vice admirals. Plus 10 more giant lieutenant generals. They all went all out to block the execution platform, blocking the road completely. If you have the ability, just protect it. Captain's order, rescue Port Gas D, Ace. Whoever dares to stand in the way will die. Crocodile, Jinbei, the Empress, Mariah, and the captains under Whitebeard. Facing the elite vice admirals of the Marine Headquarters, they remained calm, activated their abilities, and charged forward. Desert Diamond Sword. Fishman Karate, 5,000 Tiles Punch. Aromatic Feet. Diamond Crash. Shadowhorn Gun. Abilities, domineering, physical skills, and dazzling moves burst out on the battlefield. The strong men from both sides fought bloody battles. Although the energy that erupted was far less than that of the 10 Emperor-level warriors over there, it was still enough to be called a battle. Don't be so stubborn, little brats. I still have some energy left. Even Vice Admiral Tsuru, the Chief of Staff of the Marine Headquarters, had to join the battle. At the same time, lurking in the dark, the captain of the Scientific Corps, Sentamaru, also led dozens of pacifists to join the battle. Under the command of Jean Tamaru, Kumamoto also fought bloody battles with the strong men of the god-killing pirates. Boom, boom, boom. The intensity of the entire Marineford battle is more than 10 times higher than the original. We shouldn't just stand here and watch the fight, Sanji, Zoro, come on together. The Marines' strong men are all tied up. We should take advantage of this opportunity to rush to the execution platform and rescue Ace. Luffy, the Straw Hat Boy, also led the two most capable fighters of the Straw Hat Pirates, Zoro and Sanji, to the execution platform. Luffy, you are surprisingly calm. It's really not easy for you to come up with such a plan. Sanji and Zoro were also shocked by Luffy's words. Is this still the same brainless and willful captain? The two of them joked around, but they still followed Luffy closely, and the three of them rushed to the execution platform together. Come on! Luffy! Zoro! Sanji! We can't help much, we can only cheer here. We must rescue Ace. The timid trio of Nami, Usopp, and Chopper can only cheer for the three at this moment. As for Frankie, Robin, and Brook, they were of no help in this situation. Straw Hat Boy! I found you! I must be here to bring you to justice! Seeing the figure of the Straw Hat Boy, Smoker, who is now a Marine Commodore, immediately came over. Whoosh whoosh. Smoker activated his ability and turned into fluffy smoke, blocking the three people's path. Gear 3, Bone Ball. Devil's Wind Kick. 3 Sword Style, Tiger Hunting. Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro don't dare to be arrogant. Attack at the same time. But the attacks of the three men were like fists hitting cotton, and could not hurt Smoker at all. Damn it, it's that smoke guy in Alabasta again. What a tricky ability! You can't even touch his smoky body. The three of them have not yet learned the armament haki, so they have no way to deal with Smoker, who has the Logia smoke fruit. Give up, Straw Hat Boy, and the pirate hunter Blackfoot Sanji. You are all criminals. Smoker alone held back the three main forces of the Straw Hat Pirates. Even firmly gained the upper hand. Facing an enemy that doesn't have armament haki, Logia is nearly invincible. In such a stage, if one of the 5 emperors in the future, Luffy in Nika form, comes, he might be able to help. But for the current Straw Hat Pirates, it's too early. This time it is also different from the original. There is no Kizaru, Akiji, or the captains under Whitebeard to help Straw Hat Boy out. What a fierce battle! Why do I feel like Marine is having a hard time dealing with this? Of course, the opponent is a group of legendary pirates. Marine can't do anything about it. What should we do? What if Marine is really finished? What should we do? What should the world do? At the same time, the fierce battle unfolds to the world. Marine faces the god-killing pirates, although it seems that they are barely evenly matched. But anyone with a discerning eye can see that Marine is just trying to delay. The reason is simple. There are more than 30 elite vice-admirals in Marine headquarters, including the giant vice-admirals. But these people have to deal with the captain of Whitebeard's squad, as well as Crocodile, Jinbei, Empress, and Mariah, the 4 Shichibukai. There are also many captains of the Whitebeard pirates. Facing these famous pirates, even the elite vice-admirals of the headquarters can only barely hold off. If the battle lasts too long, the Marines will almost certainly be defeated. Even now, 4 or 5 of the elite vice-admirals of the Marine headquarters have lost their ability to fight as they are unable to withstand the fierce attack of the God's Slayer pirates. Panic spreads in the hearts of people all over the world. What is even more frightening to people all over the world is the live broadcast at this time. The most evil person Luo Noa finally drew out the supreme sword from his waist, 1st generation Kitetsu. He is about to take action. Swish! Luo Noa pulled out the 1st generation Kitetsu, and the overwhelming sword energy and ghost energy mixed with the terrifying conqueror's domineering aura. It spreads instantly. The strong men present could also feel the terrifying momentum. Especially Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Bullet, Garp, Sengoku, the 3 admirals and others who experienced the Battle of God Valley 36 years ago. Luo Noa's momentum seems to be even stronger than 36 years ago. The next moment, Luo Noa fixed his sights on the target, and his priority was to rescue Ace from the execution platform. At this time, Ace was only guarded by a former Marine admiral named Zifa. It's coming! The evil one! Feeling Luo Noa's fixed gaze. At this moment, the most nervous person in Marineford was the former Marine admiral, Zephyr, who was standing on the execution platform. After all the admiral-level warriors in Marine were tied up at this time. He is the only one who can fight against the extremely evil. I am already an old man. I have lived enough. Even if it costs my life, I will keep you here. Facing the overwhelming force of Luo Noa, Zifa knew he was no match for him and was ready to gamble his life on the spot. After all, a general-level warrior has no chance of winning against Luo Noa. Even if you can survive a few moves without being killed instantly, you will be considered successful. Zifa, you are quite aware. Well, I'll give you a quick death. Luo Noa looked at Zifa, who was determined to die, and said. Luo Noa couldn't say that he disliked Zifa. On the contrary, he admired his character and pursuits. As a Marine, he has a true sense of justice and is known as non-killing. Unfortunately, he was attacked by pirates in the end, and his wife and children were killed by the pirates' knives. Even so, he still willingly served the Marines and trained many Marines, including the current 3 admirals. But since the other party is blocking his way, Luo Noa will not show any mercy no matter who it is. There is only one word for those who dare to stop me: kill. The speed is close to thunder, and the speed of light. In an instant, Luo Noa arrived above the execution platform. The Conqueror's domineering aura, sword intent, and ghostly spirit are all mixed together. They merged into a terrifying aura that made all the Emperor-level warriors present tremble with fear. Here we go! Armament hockey, hardening. Zifa did not dare to slack off at all, and mobilized all the armed color domineering in his body. Teacher! Let's help too! At this moment, there are 2 students who have always truly admired Zifa. Ian and Binz also followed Zephyr to Mariford. After personally feeling the ferocious aura of Luo Noa, which was like that of an ancient beast, Zifa's 2 favorite students, Ian and Binz, couldn't help but sweat for their teacher. The 2 of them jumped high at the same time, wanting to lend a helping hand to Zifa. Boom! Unfortunately, facing Luo Noa's almost godlike conqueror's domineering and fierce momentum, before the 2 of them even got close, they were completely immobilized by Conqueror's domineering aura. What a terrifying aura! Is he really human? Ian and Binz knelt on one knee at the same time and looked up at Luo Noa above the execution platform, as if they were looking up at God. The fact that they haven't fainted or lost consciousness yet shows that they are determined. Teacher Zifa! Many other Marine executives present were also a little worried. Zifa has trained many strong men for the Marine. The current 3 admirals and many lieutenant generals were all trained by Zifa himself. They also have deep feelings for Zifa. The duel between the Evil One and Hawkeye just now fully proved it. Only one general-level warrior is completely unable to stop the extremely evil. There is a high possibility that Mr. Zifa will die. Behead the general! At the same time, Luo Noa mobilized his domineering spirit and swung his sword. Due to the presence of Ace on the execution platform, Luo Noa did not use his full strength. Instead, an extremely refined sword energy burst out. Therein lies the terrifying Conqueror's entanglement. And 4 abilities: Burning Power, Dark Power, Crushing Power, and Strength Power. Combined with Luo Noa's unrivaled swordsmanship, it has reached the state of being indestructible. Killing at least one general-level warrior will not be a problem. Watch out, little bastards! This is the last lesson I will teach you. Zifa also felt the terrifying power contained in the sword energy. He immediately grinned and said goodbye to the students. Zephyr, whose wife and daughter were killed by pirates, can't let go of these lovely students the most. Even before his death, Zifa will use his life to teach these students a final lesson in justice. Armament hockey, hardening. Zifa mobilized all his armament hockey, and his entire body became as black as ink. Pirate, stop getting carried away! Evil can never defeat justice! Zifa shouted angrily and took the initiative to step forward to fight against Luo Noa's sword energy. Phew! At the moment of collision, Zifa's armament hockey was like an egg smashed on a stone. It was instantly covered with cracks. Soon, the inky black armor of armed color was completely shattered. At the same time, Zifa spat out a large mouthful of blood, and his momentum was greatly reduced. Obviously seriously injured. Teacher Zifa. As if they saw the future of their teacher's death, Ian and Binz knelt on one knee with tears streaming down their faces. Die, Zephyr! Luo Nuo shouted angrily and increased his strength. Crunch time! Sniff, sniff, sniff. Several figures suddenly approached and surrounded Luo Nuo and Zifa. Next moment. Buzz. The several figures that came forward simultaneously burst out with powerful domineering auras, colliding with the swordsmanship that Luo Nuo unleashed. The domineering aura that was a fusion of several powerful men finally deflected Luo Nuo's swordsmanship completely after a stalemate of nearly a minute. Crash! The sword technique was launched into the sky and disappeared into the clouds. Buzz! A dull sound suddenly rang out, and a shocking hole appeared in the clouds above. If you look up, you can even see through it. It feels as if there is a big hole in the sky. The visual impact is full. The dazzling sunlight poured down from the empty space in the clouds without any scruples. Shine on everyone's body. Soon Ian, Binz and Zifa saw the people who blocked Luo Nuo's attack. Surprisingly, it was the world government reinforcements led by the current Fleet Admiral Sora Steele. Except for Kong, the Fleet Admiral of the three armed forces. There are also 2 general-level strongmen, the Air Force General and the Army General. There are nearly 10 elite members of CP0. Among the 10 CP0 members who came, 2 of them actually possess the aura of a great general. After all, it has been almost 40 years since the battle in the Valley of the Gods. Over the past 40 years, the world government has not been idle and waiting for death, but has continuously recruited talents worth cultivating from all over the world. These geniuses lived up to the expectations of the 5 elders. After so many years of continuous training, they have already grown into general-level warriors. Well done, Sora! Finally caught up! Even with 5 general-level warriors besieging us, Rox and the evil ones are powerless. Let's kill him right here. It seems we don't need to bother Lordimu anymore. At this moment, the Holy Land, Marihoa. The 5 elders sat in the Hall of Power, staring at the live broadcast of Mariford. When Steel-Boned Sora leads the Air Force, Army General, and CP0 reinforcements to arrive. The 5 people also breathed a sigh of relief. Even the most evil ones cannot escape the siege of 5 great generals. It seems that there is no need to bother Lord Yim anymore. Luckily we made it in time. Zifa, are you okay? The 5 general-level warriors joined forces and finally blocked Luo Nuo's swordsmanship, which was not at his full strength. Cyborg Kong hurriedly looked at his old comrade Zifa. At this time, Zifa was seriously injured, gasping for breath, his chest heaving, and he was taking deep breaths. But judging from his appearance, he shouldn't be fatally injured. Air Fleet Admiral, you are here. Zephyr breathed heavily. If I had been a few seconds later, I probably wouldn't have been able to hold on, and would have become a corpse. Use your body to come into close contact with Luo Nuo's terrifying slash. Zifa has a feeling. The strength of the evil ones seems to be even stronger than 36 years ago. Watch out, Air Fleet Admiral. This guy is stronger than he was 36 years ago. Zifa hurriedly reminded. I know, Zifa. Don't forget, I was also an eyewitness to the battle in God Valley 36 years ago. Gangukong's face was solemn. In the Battle of God Valley 36 years ago, although Kong Kong did not fight with Luo Nuo personally. But in the end, the mighty image of Luo Nuo holding back more than 20 general-level warriors by himself was still before Gangu Kong's eyes. Not only did this guy not die, he lay dormant for 36 years. With the extremely powerful talent of the Evil One, that cannot be found even in the entire 800 years of history. It's only natural that he would become stronger in these 36 years. Steelbone Kong, is it finally your turn to appear? Luo Nuo raised the first-generation Kitetsu in his hand with a playful expression. Luo Nuo remembered clearly that Cyber Kong and the previous 5 elders disliked each other. I originally thought that Kong Gang would be different from the original, but now it seems that there is not much change. Being able to hold the position of Fleet Admiral of the three armed forces is enough to prove that Kong has been a dog for the world government for many years. After all, how could the five elders allow a disobedient guy to take the position of Fleet Admiral? Evildoer! Don't be so complacent. We were able to kill you in the Valley of the Gods 36 years ago. We can still kill you again in Mariford now. Gangukong understood the sarcasm in Luo No's words and said angrily, "The legendary Evil One! The heinous criminal who killed thousands of celestial dragons! It is also the existence that the Tianlong people fear the most. Such a heinous person must be wiped out from existence." The two CP0 generals also stared at Luo No intently, their eyes full of murderous intent. Although these two people did not personally experience the Battle of God Valley 36 years ago. But in terms of the degree of brainwashing by the celestial dragons, these CP0s are no less brainwashed than the CP0s 36 years ago. Killing the Tianlong people is like killing their parents. Therefore, even if these people had not witnessed with their own eyes the scene of Luo Noa slaughtering the celestial dragons like killing chickens, but just thinking about it can make them gnash their teeth and burn with anger. I wish I could cut Luo Noa into pieces right there and then. With you guys, come and give it a try. Luo Noa looked disdainful. If it weren't for the awakening of those 19 kings back then, in the Battle of God Valley, it is still uncertain who will win or lose. The remains of the 19 kings have been destroyed along with the turbulence of time and space. It is impossible to rescue their descendants. With the 5 people in front of him, even if they are 5 general-level warriors. Want to join forces to kill me? Almost impossible. After all, Luo No now possesses the 3-color god-level domineering power, plus superpowers such as seeing and killing, foreseeing the future, etc. With the blessing of the power of the 4 fruits and the superfusion skills, the destructive power is unparalleled in the world. Plus the iron balloon, 6 secret techniques and other super strong defense. Want to kill Luo No? Easier said than done. If there are 5 more, there might still be a chance. Aren't you Zifa's students? Take Zifa away first. A big war is about to break out here. Immediately, Gangukong spoke to Ein Bins, who had just been intimidated by Luo No's momentum. Next, it's a head-on confrontation. Being surrounded by several powerful generals, the surroundings are too dangerous. Take Zifa away first, so that we can display our strength without any worries. Oh, okay, yes. Ian and Bins, who had never experienced such a scene, were stunned at first. Then he reacted and quickly jumped onto the execution platform, trying to take Zifa away. Do you think I'm going to sit there and watch you do nothing? Luo Noa sneered, then swung his sword. The whistling sword energy was like a tiger out of its cage, bursting through the air with an oppressive feeling that could crush everything. The target of this sword energy was the seriously injured Zifa. Damn it! Despicable fellow! Gangukong shouted angrily, and then his whole body suddenly became armed. Although he is over 70 years old, Kong's strength is even stronger than when he was in his prime 36 years ago. With the continuous refinement over the past 36 years, Gukong's strength has been steadily increasing. Even though he is nearly 70 years old, he still holds the position of Fleet Admiral of the Armed Forces. At this moment, Gangukong's aura was even stronger than that of other Emperor-level warriors. Boom! His figure suddenly jumped up, and Gangukong was now covered with a thick armament haki. Combined with his originally tall, broad and solid figure, he looked even more domineering. The inky black muscles are like molten iron, giving people a sense of indestructibility. 6th-style secret technique, Iron Tyrant! The next moment, Gangukong flashed above Zifa like a human cannonball. He crossed his hands and formed an X shape, trying to block Luo Noa's sword energy. This scene is like the strongest spear versus the strongest shield. The ending is obvious. Slightly stronger than Zephyr, Kong Gang finally fought against Luo Noa's sword energy for a few seconds before his armed color domineering aura was shattered. Sizzle! Bright red blood gushed out. The moment when the armed color domineering was shattered, The sharp sword blade immediately caused substantial damage to Gang Kong. Let's go together! The opponent is a extremely evil person! Gang Kong shouted angrily at the Air Force and Army generals standing beside him. And 2 general-level CP-0 strongmen said, "Here we go!" Soon, those general-level warriors burst out with powerful auras, and their armed color domineering auras were released. Come and help Gang Kong! Boom, boom, boom! Under the powerful combined attack of 5 great generals, Luo Nuo's sword energy was barely blocked. The price the 5 people paid was that their armament hockey was completely shattered. My physical strength was instantly depleted. Terrible swordplay. As if it could crush everything. If it's just 1v1, or even 1v2, we might not be able to withstand the sharpness of this sword energy. The Air Force and Army generals, as well as the 2 CP-0 general-level warriors who faced Luo Nuo for the first time, were also stunned by Luo Nuo's extremely destructive swordsmanship. It was also the first time they felt that it would take 5 general-level warriors to stop the attack. It is rumored that the Evil One is as terrifying as the Sea Overlord rocks. Now it seems that there may be more. Not only these great generals, but people all over the world were also stunned. It actually takes 5 general-level warriors to counter the attack of one person. Is he still human? Even at the peak of his powers, Whitebeard was unable to resist the combined efforts of the 2 admirals. But the extremely evil criminal in front of him actually required 5 great generals to resist. Take Zifa away! Leave this to us! Steel Bones Sung yelled angrily and turned to speak to Ein and Binz. This is an opportunity that has been hard-earned. With Zifa here, the 5 of them can't do anything. Good! Binz and Ein nodded gratefully, and immediately led Zifa to retreat. After Zifa successfully retreated, Kong Gang immediately commanded the rest of the group. Let's go together! He is a extremely evil person. It takes 5 people working together to have a chance of killing him. To deal with Luo Nuo, we must attack at the same time to have a chance. Just like the Battle of God Valley 36 years ago. Adopt gang-beating tactics. Gong Gu Kong, so many people against me alone, this is despicable. Luo Nuo smiled coldly, full of sarcasm. Humph, extremely evil, are you scared? It's not too late to give in now. As long as you are willing to confess your sins, you can go to the Holy Land and serve the celestial dragons as slaves for decades to atone for your previous sins. Maybe if the celestial dragons are in a good mood, they can spare your life. Otherwise, just wait to die. Before Cyborg Sora could speak, another CP-0 spoke first. When he heard Luo Nuo say this, he thought Luo Nuo was scared. What a loyal lackey! After coming out again, the first-generation Kitetsu has never really killed anyone. Let's start with you, this blind wretch! Luo Nuo shouted loudly, and immediately his sword intent was released. Boom, boom, boom! Conqueror's domineering spirit soared into the sky, and the originally clear sky suddenly darkened. The clouds rolled in the sky, and thunder roared. The first generation of Kitetsu seemed to be excited, with ghostly energy overflowing and murderous intent emanating from them. The devil's face looms behind Luo Nuo. Even a general-level warrior felt extremely oppressed when facing Luo Nuo's godlike conqueror's combination of domineering and ghostly aura. It's as if they want to eat you alive. If one's will is relaxed, one will fall into an abyss of no return. The momentum is indeed strong. But we have 5 general-level warriors here. Evildoer! You are dead! Seeing Luo Nuo burst out with amazing momentum, CP-0 still mocked him stubbornly. By the way, he burst out with the aura of a great general, and his armed color was domineering. It seems like he wants to compete with Luo Nuo. The next moment, Gang Gukong and the others all released their mighty auras. After all, it's better to lose the battle than the person. But soon, the faces of the other 5 people including Gang Gukong suddenly turned gloomy, and looked extremely ugly. 5 against 1. The momentum was actually suppressed. After all, Luo Nuo had faced off against 20 general-level warriors. The 5 people in front of us are far from enough. Die! Before the 5 people could react. Next moment, Luo Nuo aimed at the CP0 who had just spoken rudely and rushed forward. What a fast speed! And the observation hockey can't even catch it. What is going on? Seeing Luo Nuo disappear on the spot, the CP0 was stunned and the smile disappeared from his face. My own observation hockey is completely unable to detect the aura of the evil one. Protect that CP0 and join forces together. Kong Gang, who was most familiar with Luo Nuo, knew immediately that with Luo Nuo's personality, they will definitely target the CP0 who just spoke rudely. 6th style secret, airstrike. 6th style secret, destroying objects. Seeing this, the other 4 general-level warriors, Gang-gu Kong, the Air Force General, the Army General and the CP0 General all came forward with great momentum to stop them. But how can the speed of these 4 generals compare to Luo Nuo's? In this world, if it weren't for the devil fruit, no one could keep up with Luo Nuo's speed. Even with the help of devil fruits, only top Logias like Enel and Kizaru can compete with Luo Nuo in terms of speed. Whoosh! When he reappeared, Luo Nuo had already arrived in front of CP0. The air around them seemed to freeze, and dark red lightning whistled and scattered, which was the proof of Conqueror's domineering and incomparable strength. Not only that, it seems as if a Shinigami has descended upon the earth. The Admiral-level CP0 warrior saw that behind Luo Nuo, there appeared an image of a Shinigami holding a sickle. Die! Luo Nuo stabbed out with a knife. Coupled with the power of crushing, this knife could cut off everything in the world in an instant. 6th style's secret technique, Jade. The next moment, CP0, who was targeted by Luo Nuo, instinctively felt that his life was threatened. But he is still a general-level warrior after all, even if his observation hockey cannot sense Luo Nuo's attack. With years of combat experience, he instinctively used his strongest defensive moves at this critical moment. And it also comes with a layer of armed color domineering. Smash it! The moment when the blade of first-generation Kitetsu touches CP0. Click! Click! A clearly audible cracking sound was heard. The armament hockey that CP0 used for defense instantly shattered like a cicada's wing. The dark armament color retreats, revealing the original skin color. Swish! When the armament hockey was shattered, the first-generation Kitetsu easily pierced through his body. Blood gushed out like a column instantly. Boom boom boom. After Luo Nuo completed the attack of 4 generals led by Kong Gukong finally arrived. There is no way, their speed is too slow for Bruno. 6th style secret, airstrike. 6th style secret, destroying objects. 6th style secret technique, divine spear. 6th style secret, eagle strike. The attacks of the 4 great general-level warriors contain extreme energy. 6th style secret technique, Bakai. Seeing this, Luo Nuo smiled faintly, with no intention of avoiding it at all. He allowed this powerful attack, which could instantly change the topography of an island, to hit his body. Boom boom boom. The dull sound was like a sledgehammer hitting an iron door. This combined attack, which could almost instantly change the appearance of an island, only shattered the divine armament color covering Luo Nuo's body. Just a little scrape of flesh. Of course, this consumption is not small for Luo Nuo. To defend against the attacks of 4 great generals, one must mobilize extremely strong physical strength and armed color domineering. That blow just now instantly consumed a lot of Luo Nuo's strength. But it doesn't matter. Congratulations to the host for successfully picking up 99999 plus stamina. The next moment, the physical strength was perfectly replenished. Taking advantage of this time, CP0 quickly pulled his body out, fearing that Luo Nuo's Conqueror's entanglement would shatter all his internal organs. Damn it! What a strong defense! How tough is this guy's body? That strike just now was enough to change the topography of an island. What on earth is going on with this terrifying defensive power? Kong Gang, the Air Force and Army generals, and another CP0 strongman were stunned. Such a terrifying attack hit the evil one head-on. It only caused a few scratches. Not just these 4 strong men. Zifa, Ein and Binz retreated to a safe area. Ace on the execution platform was also stunned by this scene. There is actually someone who can withstand the attacks of 4 great generals. This is going to completely subvert their worldview. It's my turn now! Resisting the attacks of 4 great generals, Luo Noa continued to launch a fierce attack on the CP0. Stop him! The next moment, Gang Gukong roared angrily and burst out with powerful strength again. The other 4 general-level warriors also exploded along with Gang Gukong. Just try to stop me! Luo Noa shouted angrily, and his whole body was covered with the god-level armed color domineering. Not afraid of these people's joint attack. First-generation Kitetsu just aimed at the arrogant CP0. Injury for injury. This is Luo Noa's winning formula when he fights one against many. As long as the opponent's general-level strongmen do not reach the number that can produce qualitative change due to quantitative change, a combined attack cannot cause much damage to yourself. Then I can rely on the god-level armed color, 6 secret techniques, and the physical talent of the steel balloon. Crazy injury swap. It was like when one person faced a group of people, Luo Noa only targeted one of them and attacked like crazy. As for other people's attacks, you can completely ignore them. After all, the 4 general-level warriors were still a little short of breaking through his defense. Boom boom boom. Boom boom boom. Luo Noa was fighting 1v5, not caring at all about the attacks from Gengakan and others bombarding his body. He just focused on attacking the CP0 who had just spoken rudely. Zifa successfully retreated, and the 5 general-level warriors, no longer worried, opened fire. Various physical skills, kicking skills, domineering and other fighting methods emerge in an endless stream, with amazing destructive power. The scene is extremely spectacular. Damn it! Stop it! Evildoer! Gang Gukong roared angrily and hit Luo Noa's abdomen with all his strength, but it was like a wooden hammer hitting an iron plate. Nothing works. It just punched a big hole in Luo Noa's white shirt, revealing his 8-pack abs. On the contrary, it was Gang Gukong's hand that was hurt by the reaction force. In terms of strength, no one can defeat Luo Noa. Haha, Gang Gukong, didn't you say you wanted to kill me? Come on! Luo Noa shouted coldly, and fought 5 people at once, attacking the CP0 crazily. After I kill the CP0, it will be Steel Bones Sora's turn next. A magnificent battle between 5 great admirals and 1 great overlord pirate. This grand scene that shook the shaky Malin fort also attracted the attention of other powerful people present. They can actually fight 1v5. They even seem to be suppressing each other. The evil is even more powerful than 36 years ago. The most terrifying thing is his terrifying defense. In the Valley of Gods, even if 20 great generals joined forces, they couldn't kill him instantly. This is enough to show how terrible Luo Noa's defense is. Garp, when Zhangguo saw the battle situation on Luo Noa's side, he immediately looked extremely solemn and his face darkened. After Luo Noa reappeared in this world, he was even stronger than he was 36 years ago. 36 years ago, Luo Noa was already as powerful as the Sea Overlord Rocks. But even Rocks, after showing the power of the dark fruit, can only fight 1 against 3 at most. But it is impossible to fight 3 at once for a long time. If he was alone against 4, even if Rocks fired at full power, he couldn't hold on and would be completely suppressed. But now Luo Noa is fighting against 5 general-level warriors alone, and he is not at a disadvantage. There is even a tendency to suppress. There is no doubt that Luo Noa has surpassed the former maritime overlord Rocks. Completely stand at the top of the pirates. We are in big trouble. It's not just these 2. After seeing Luo Noa holding his own against 5 opponents, Akainu also felt scared. These 5 general-level warriors could not gain any advantage in the hands of the extremely evil. If Kizara hadn't pulled me away from the Sabaody Islands, I'm afraid I would have become a dead soul under the knife of the evil one. Gulala! Sengoku Garp, what are those expressions on your faces? He's the captain of our god slayer pirates! It's only natural for him to do that. Whitebeard smiled coldly, in a good mood, and slashed at Sengoku with a cloud slash using the power of the tremor fruit. Big Buddha shock wave! Sengoku yelled angrily and activated his fruit ability. Vibration and shock waves, the two powerful attacks of the Emperor-level strongmen rubbed against each other, and terrifying energy burst out instantly. The area within a radius of several hundred meters was smashed to pieces, leaving no grass at all. Ha! This is why we are willing to submit to the captain. Marine, world government, your good days are over. We can't embarrass the captain either. Quickly deal with the enemy in front of you. For a moment, legendary pirates such as Rayleigh, Bullet, Burndy Wald, etc. seemed to be infected by Luo Nuo. These remnants of the past era. It was like he was rejuvenated, and suddenly he burst out with a power that could rival his prime self. Instantly repel Akainu, Kizaru, and Akiji in front of him. While as expected of Pluton Rayleigh, the right hand of One Piece, the sword is still as sharp as ever, so scary. Kizaru instantly appeared dozens of meters away from Rayleigh, with a look of shock on his face. Ah la la la! World Destroyer, Burndy Wald is worthy of his reputation. Qingji also wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, his face solemn. Damn it! Devil's descendant Bullet! Invigorated by the evil one, did he burst out with peak strength in an instant? Akainu was also knocked back by Bullet, with a scratch on his face and a gloomy expression. Even the other side. The captain of the Whitebeard pirates, led by Marco, and the battlefields of Hawkeye, Doflamingo, Empress, Moria, Crocodile, Jinbei and others. It seemed as if he was also infected by Luo Nuo's heart-stirring, 1-on-5, almost godlike battle. A powerful force erupted. The Marines' core force led by Vice Admiral Tsuru, Momosaji, and 2 admiral candidates, Shaitan, dozens of elite vice admirals from the headquarters, and Vice Admiral Giant, were defeated step by step. The battlefield seems to have evolved from being balanced at the beginning to being unbalanced. Damn it, evil one! 5 great generals were unable to siege him to death. He is even more powerful than he was 36 years ago. After 36 years of disappearance, have you really grown? Infected by the evil ones, the battlefield on the side of Whitebeard, Bullet, Rayleigh, and Red Earl seems to be beginning to lose balance. And Hawkeye, the battlefield of Doflamingo's traitor, seems to have been infected as well. Hasn't the general-level warriors from the member countries of the world government arrived yet? If you delay, things will change. If we can't kill the evil ones quickly, the direction of this war may be out of control. At this moment, in the holy land of Marihoa, in the Hall of Power, looking at the gradually unbalanced scene in the live broadcast of Den Den Mushi, the 5 elders also looked extremely solemn. I never expected that 5 general-level warriors would still be suppressed by Luo Nuo. His terrifying defense was so strong that he took all the attacks from Gangakong and the others, and was only scratched. For the monster, the evil one, in the monster group, what difference does this kind of injury make with no injury at all? Although they are reluctant to say this, 5 elders know very well that the evil one is a man who constantly creates miracles. It was a miracle that he survived the siege of 20 general-level warriors. If he continues to be so complacent, the war may get completely out of control. Not only that, at this moment, this scene was also transmitted to the whole world through the live broadcast of Den Den Mushi. Whether it's Don Quixote family of Teresa Rosa, Violet, Rebecca, toy soldiers, etc. Or maybe the Nefertari family of Alabasta, Cobra, Vivi and others. There are also the icebergs of Water City and the Frankie family. Red Fujifu and others at the East China Sea's floating restaurant. King Neptune of Fishman Island, Princess Shirahoshi, and more. Zo's Cat Viper, Inuarashi, and the Minx. Azuki, Yamato, Denjiro, Kurazumi Orochi and others from Wano country. New World, the kings of the underground dark world. Morgans, the president of the World News Agency, Duffield, the king of loan sharks, Stussy, the queen of Fun Street, Meat, the shipping king, Pirklo, the big-handed undertaker, Kibison, the boss of the warehousing industry, and so on. Kurokas of Twin Gorges, as well as the East China Sea, Luo Noa's home island, and so on. People and heroes from all over the world. To all those who are following this war. I was shocked by this scene at the moment. One person against 5 general-level warriors. With his own strength, he raised the morale of the members of the God Slayer pirates, causing the situation on the battlefield to gradually shift. This kind of spirit is unique in the world. If the world government doesn't come up with any countermeasures, the world will really have to change dynasties. Meanwhile, Mariford. Boom! Suddenly there was a loud noise that resounded through the sky. Many of the strong men in Mariford even had tinnitus due to the loud noise. The next moment, the battle between Luo Nua and the 5 general-level warriors finally came to an end. The CP0 who made the rude remarks had his clothes torn to pieces. There were bloody knife wounds all over his body. Not only that, his entire abdomen, chest, and waist were covered with bloody holes. It was obvious that his internal organs had been beaten to pieces, and even shattered by Luo Noa's fierce conqueror's entanglement. The whole person drooped like a puppet with its strings cut, lifeless. Obviously, that CP0 is dead. And Luo Nua was under the full siege of 5 general-level warriors. Only his shirt was torn, revealing muscles that were as perfect as those of ancient Greek sculptures, strong and broad, without a single scar from being cut by a knife or an axe. The pants also showed some wear and tear, but fortunately there was no damage in the key parts. There were also slight scratches and traces of blood on the face, temples, heart, knees, calves, abdomen, chest, and other vital parts. In short, no big deal. Damn it! We were 5 against 1 and yet one of them was killed. What a disgrace! After taking so many attacks from us, he only received such minor injuries. What on earth is his body made of? Is it made of sea stone? Even if it's really made of sea stone, it should be broken into pieces. Kong Gang, the Air Force and Army generals, and the remaining CP0 general, were all extremely surprised. They fought for dozens of moves in a row. Every move is done with all your strength, hitting the vital points directly. But it still cannot cause any harm to the evil one. On the contrary, every strike of the extremely evil was deadly, and with continuous slashing, even if he was facing 5 general-level warriors, he could still kill one of them alive. This is a completely unreasonable way of playing. It's simply a demon. This is what Steelbone Sora and others think of Luo Nua. Congratulations to the host for successfully picking up 99.99 plus stamina. Congratulations to the host for successfully picking up 99.99 plus stamina. Congratulations to the host for successfully picking up 99.99 plus stamina. The energy Luo Nua used to defend against the attacks of 4 people consumed a lot of his strength. But it was quickly replenished. This guy's momentum has not diminished at all. What made the 4 people even more terrified was Luo Nua's aura at this moment did not seem to be weakened at all. It's as if his physical strength is endless. How could it be? Faced with 5 people, I killed 1. Damn it! The strength of the extremely evil is far beyond our expectations. Inside Marihoa's Hall of Power, the 5 elders could no longer sit still. They all stood up from their benches. The domineering aura leaked out, causing chaos in the Hall of Power. How could the 5 elders be so angry? This kind of scene also made the guards of the Hall of Power tremble. Not good! Even if I'm fighting 1 against 5, the evil one can still kill one of them. It's 1 against 4 now. Kong Gukong and the others are in danger too. It seems that we have to do it ourselves. The next moment, the 5 elders looked at each other deeply and realized the seriousness of the matter. Now I have no choice but to go to Mariford myself. 5 elders distrust. The 5 of us plus Kong Gukong and the others cannot kill the extremely evil. Dang dang ding dang ding. At this moment, a burst of chaotic footsteps suddenly came from the Hall of Power. There was also the sound of metal armor rubbing against each other. This voice made 5 elders stunned. So familiar! There is no doubt that this is the Knights of God directly under Lord Im. As expected. Soon, the Knights of God appeared in front of the 5 elders. There were 10 people in total, all wearing heavy medieval armor, fully armed and looking very majestic. These 10 people are so imposing. 5 of them were older men, around 40 or 50 years old, in their prime. Each one of them is at the general level. The remaining 5 people are relatively young, around 30 years old. Even so, the strength of each of these 5 people is at least at the level of a candidate for general. Almost all the 10 members of the Knights of God have been dispatched. The 5 elders are also very clear about the duties and missions of the Knights of God. After all, the current 5 elders were previously members of the Knights of God. However, since all the 5 elders who took office died in the Battle of God Valley, the 5 of them were promoted from the Knights of God to 5 elders by Lord Im. On the surface, the Knights of God are a force directly under the celestial dragons. But that's all to hide the truth, just like the 5 elders are the highest power in the world. The Knights of God are also divided into low-level and high-level. The lower-level members of the Knights are not very powerful, and most of them were born into the lower classes. Most of these lower-level people serve the Tianlong people living in the Holy Land and are responsible for protecting their safety. The high-ranking members of the Knights were carefully selected by Lord Im since childhood, and they are all pure-blooded celestial dragons. Only those with strength and potential at least at the general level will be chosen by Lord Imu. The duties of these high-ranking members of the Knights of God are also very simple. In this world, they only obey Lord Imu and no one else. The 5 elders have no authority to issue any orders to the high-ranking members of the Order of the Knights of God. When necessary, Imu will even bypass the 5 elders and let the Knights of God directly command the CP to issue orders. Now that the Knights of God have arrived in person, I'm sure Lord Yim has also been alarmed. 5 elders. Lord Yim already knows about the return of the Evil One. As expected, the next moment, the first words of the Knights of God made the 5 elders' hearts suddenly tighten. After all, in order to cover up their own incompetence, the 5 elders did not inform Lord Im immediately after the return of the Evil One. They also thought about not disturbing Lord Yim as much as possible, but relying on their own strength to kill the Evil One. Don't worry, everyone. Lord Imu has no intention of blaming you. After all, you still care about Lord Imu in your heart. The words of the Knights of God put the 5 elders at ease. Lord Yim ordered us to come here this time to help you. Gather all your strength. We must wipe out the Evil One this time. And things must not be like what happened 36 years ago, where we thought the other person was dead. This time, I must see him alive or dead. Even if the Evil One is crushed into dust, his body must be put back together. Then bring his body back to the Holy Land, Pangu City, for Lord Yim to personally inspect it. The words of the Knights of God also made the current 5 elders feel relieved. Everything can still be salvaged. Time is running out, we can't delay any longer. Gang Gukong and the others can't hold on any longer. Everyone, please set off immediately. The 5 elders were also quite polite when facing the Knights of God who were directly under Lord Im. The next moment, 5 elders and 10 members of the Knights of God appeared. A total of 10 general-level warriors. Plus 5 general-level reserve warriors, a super powerful lineup. Left from Marihoa. Hateful. At the same time, in the square of Mariford, Gang Gukong and others suddenly felt a sense of fear when facing Luo No alone. 5 people against 1 person, and each of them was killed by Luo No. Next, the 4 of them will face Luo No alone, so won't they all be killed? For a moment, the 4 general-level warriors were intimidated by Luo No and dared not take action. Haha, Gangakong, didn't you just say you wanted to kill me? You don't dare to take action now? Don't panic, you still have 4 people, and you have an absolute advantage in numbers. Luo No held the first-generation Kitetsu and said this with great sarcasm. This is being broadcast live to the whole world, and people all over the world are watching. Of course, Luo No will do his best to slap the world government in the face and make them lose face. Luo No would not be polite to these lackeys who were directly under the control of the celestial dragons. Evildoer, don't be too complacent. I said you would die here today. This will never change. Kong Gang was not angered by Luo No's words and lost his mind, because he just received the news. The general-level strongmen from the allied countries are on their way. The 5 elders are on their way too. Marihoa is only a little over 10 minutes away from Mariford by warship. With the 5 elders' stamina, if they didn't take the warship but used moonwalk or something like that, a few minutes would probably be enough. Even the Knights of God, this extremely mysterious knight group that only serves the celestial dragons, has arrived. It can be said that the world government's trump cards are now on the way to being deployed. So many powerful people are coming together to strangle the evil one, Luo Noa, today. With the deterrent power that Luo Noa has shown so far, I'm afraid it will take all the power of the world's government to kill him. Just like 36 years ago, the power of 19 kings was needed. Therefore, the reason why Gangukong and his men dare not act rashly now is that they do not want to lose another general-level warrior when the main force arrives. If the Calabash brothers save their grandfather one by one like this, their wish to kill Luo No will probably fail. Ha ha ha, Steelbone Sora, are you still looking forward to killing me? Are you going to mobilize the power of 19 kings to siege me again, just like 36 years ago? Luo No picked up the insight from the Red Count and instantly understood Steelbone Sora's thoughts. Evildoer, you bastard! Steelbone Kong was immediately shocked. How could Luo No speak out the thoughts in his mind? Immediately, Gangukong's face darkened. It's not like he hasn't seen such ability before. I've seen it on my old rival, the Red Earl. Combined with Luo No's irrational and terrifying talent, the Red Count's observation hockey may have been learned by him. I will kill you one by one before they get here first. Luo No's tone was firm. I will never let the world government repeat what happened 36 years ago. Since you want to continue beating me up, then take this opportunity to kill all 4 of you. The next moment, Luo No moved violently again and flashed in front of Gangukong. First generation Kitetsu, full of ghost energy. Stab at Gangukong's heart. 6th style secret technique, Iron Tyrant. Steelbone Sora reacted incredibly quickly, immediately covering himself with armament hockey and 6 styles of secret techniques. Strengthen your defense. Help the Air Fleet Admiral. We can't let the evil ones succeed. We must hold on. Reinforcements are on the way. The rest of the Air Force, Army generals, and CP0 generals also came to help Steelbone Kong immediately. But even 5 great generals were unable to stop Luo No, not to mention that there were only 4 left. Phew! Facing the attacks of the 4, Luo No pierced through Gangukong's skin with his sword, and the first generation Kitetsu sank into the opponent's body. Blood gushed out instantly, extremely scarlet. It almost pierced your heart. Giant Bone Kong, your defense is pretty good. Luo No also smiled coldly. Because he needed to use some of his physical strength and domineering power to defend against the attacks of 4 general-level strongmen. That's why no sword pierced through. If it was a one-on-one fight, this sword would be enough to kill Gangukong. However, Gangukong's strength is slightly higher than that of a general-level strongman, and is in the category of an emperor-level strongman. Withstanding the attack of 4 people, it took a little more time to kill Gangukong than to kill that CP0 general-level warrior. You must hold on. At least for 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, the 5 elders will be dispatched in person. And the Knights of God, they are coming too. This means at least a dozen general-level warriors are coming, Steelbone said in a deep voice. As long as we hold on for a while longer and wait for the 5 elders and the Knights of God to arrive, we can repeat the scene in the Valley of God 36 years ago. Even with the strength of more than 10 generals, Gang Gukong still didn't believe that he couldn't kill the evil one. Haha, are you going to use the human wave tactic again? Don't even think about it. The world government's foundation is indeed profound. Without strong power and trump cards, how could the world government rule the world for 800 years and remain standing? Thinking of this, Luo Noa turned around and stabbed one of the other three. The strength of these three people is slightly weaker than that of Kong Gang. Pick the softest persimmons first, this is common sense. Before the 5 elders and the Knights of God arrive, weaken the enemy as much as possible. Kill these 3 first. Whoosh whoosh. The overwhelming conqueror's domineering aura surged wildly, containing full of murderous intent. With a determined look, he confirmed one of them as his target. Luo Noa attacks madly. Boom boom boom. Boom boom boom. He allowed the attacks of 4 great generals to hit him, but it didn't cause any damage at all. Luo Noa's first-generation Kitetsu, including the terrifying Conqueror's entanglement, continuously causes extreme damage to a general-level strongman. It takes less than 2 minutes. Another CP0 general-level warrior fell to Luo Noa's first-generation Kitetsu. Hateful! The remaining 3 Steelbone generals, the Air Force and the Army generals were all terrified. It has only been a few minutes since the 5 of them showed up. 2 general-level warriors have been killed. You know, this is a general-level strongman, not a cabbage. How much effort must be put into training 2 great generals? In the end, he was killed by Luo Noa like a chicken. What scares them the most is, if the death of these great generals can consume Luo Noa's physical strength and make him tired, then it can be considered a worthy death. But the terrifying aura emanating from Luo Noa's body seemed to consume no energy at all in killing these 2 general-level warriors. This made Gangakong and others so desperate. The enemy's power did not decrease at all despite the huge price of the death of 2 great generals. How to fight this? This guy is a monster among monsters. Not only Kong Gang and his men, but also people all over the world were filled with panic. How long has it been? 2 general-level warriors have fallen. You know, a general-level warrior is enough to destroy a country. Such a strong man was like a chicken in front of Luo Noa, and one of them died in less than a few minutes. Moreover, they attacked Luo Noa in a group, but Luo Noa killed them in return. This completely overturned the world's people's 3 views. Is there really anyone in the world who can do this? Even the heroes of the last era, Roger, Whitebeard, Golden Lion, Red Earl and other pirates who almost stood at the top. It is impossible to kill a general as quickly and decisively as Luo Noa did, just like killing a chicken. Is he a god? Even Enno, who had been protecting the live broadcast Den Mushi, was stunned. Enno, who has Grandmaster Observation Hockey, can fully feel that the aura and strength of each of the 5 people the captain is facing are much stronger than his own. In the end, they were defeated by the captain, and 2 of them died. In other words, if the captain had shown no mercy when we were on Sky Island, I would have been dead. Next, it's your turn. The next moment, Luo Noa rushed towards Gang Gu Kong with extreme murderous intent. There are only 3 people left now, so it will be easier to kill Kong Gang. Bastard, extremely evil. Sprint with all your strength. Otherwise Kong and the others will be wiped out. At this moment, the 5 elders who had already set out from Marihoa also felt something was wrong. In order to arrive quickly, the 5 elders did not take the warship, but flew directly using moonwalk and went straight there. But now, in less than 2 minutes, another general-level warrior has fallen. The hearts of the 5 elders are bleeding. Although the world government has a deep foundation, the general-level strongmen are also considered a huge fighting force. If death is worth it, that's fine. But I am afraid that these general-level warriors will die lightly, and not cause any trouble to the extremely evil. What's more, now the extremely evil has set its sights on Kong Gukong. Kong Gang is a rare loyal dog. Otherwise, the 5 elders would not have allowed him to take the position of Fleet Admiral. After losing such a talented person, it will be hard to find another competent Fleet Admiral. In short, this time we must completely wipe out the existence of the extremely evil. At the side, the Knights of God, consisting of 10 people in armor, also said in a deep voice. Everyone sped up and rushed towards Merryford. Soon, Merryford was within sight. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, Merryford is still caught in a fierce battle. The Bay Square, the Marine Headquarters building, and the town of Merryford. It had already been razed to the ground in the aftermath of the fight between dozens of Emperor-level warriors. Killed 2 CP-0s. Once again facing 3 General-level strongmen, Steel Bone Kong, Air Force General, and Army General. Luo Noa surprisingly set his main target on Steel Bone Sora. It's not good. There seems to be danger over there at Air Fleet Admiral. Meanwhile, Marine Fleet Admiral Zhang Gua is secretly worried. Under the siege of 5 general-level warriors, Luo Noa quickly killed 2 people. Now he has set his sights on Fleet Admiral. It's very likely that you won't be able to resist it. Kong Gongu is the old boss of Zhang Gua, and he is also a mentor who has shown great kindness to Zhang Gua. The reason why Sengoku was able to become Marine Fleet Admiral was all thanks to the recommendation of Kong Gonka. Now that Gangakong's life is in danger, Zhang Gua can't help but worry. Gulala! Zhang Gua, you dare to be distracted while fighting Laozi. You should worry about yourself. Whitebeard keenly sensed the opportunity and slashed with his sword with the tremor fruit, instantly knocking the distracted Sengoku back dozens of meters. At the same time, a large mouthful of blood spurted out of his mouth. At the same time, Luo Noa was attacking Steel Bone Sora madly. Congratulations to the host for successfully picking up 9999 plus stamina. Congratulations to the host for successfully picking up 9999 plus stamina. Congratulations to the host for successfully picking up the 6th style secret technique, Tyrant Iron. Congratulations to the host for successfully picking up the 6th secret technique, Eagle Strike. Congratulations to the host for successfully picking up the 6th style secret art, Destruction. The system prompts continued to sound. Even though there are only 3 people left, Gangakong and Kong, they can still provide Luo Noa with a lot of physical recovery. As for things like the 6 styles of secrets, the more the better. These are the moves that the great generals are good at. The more of these moves he has, the more powerful the fusion sword techniques that Luo Noa can use will be. Oink oink. Oink oink. The first generation Kitetsu continued to flow along Luo Noa's wrist, and terrifying sword energy overflowed. Faced with this sword energy that combines the abilities of many fruits and is nearly indestructible, the 3 general-level warriors were also unable to cope with the situation and kept retreating. And facing Luo Noa's sword energy, the 3 of them could only use all their domineering power and physical strength to defend, and could not attack like before. In all his attacks, Luo Noa's target was only one person, Kong Gu. Killing Gang Gu Kong will greatly boost morale. After all, the opponent is the Fleet Admiral of the 3 armed forces, the highest commander on the battlefield. Damn it! I'm using up my energy too quickly! Kong Gang, the Air Force General, and the Army General all felt their physical strength rapidly decreasing. If this continues, all 3 of us will die. In less than a minute, horrific scars appeared on the bodies of the 3 general-level warriors. The Air Force and Army Generals are fine, after all, they are not Luo Noa's main target. But Gang Gu Kong is much more miserable. By this time his clothes were already in tatters. The ferocious muscles that normally looked like they were made of molten iron now became covered in scars and blood. The chest, waist, neck and other vital parts all suffered serious injuries. The momentum is even weaker than before. Fortunately, Kong Gu Kong is also a strong physical athlete who concentrates on practicing physical skills and does not rely on the power of the fruit. Otherwise he would have been swallowed up by the dark power attached to Luo Noa's sword energy and turned into a corpse. You are the least injured, so save your strength first. The 5 elders and the Knights of God will be here soon. Leave this to me for now to stop the evil culprit. Gang Gu Kong seemed to have made up his mind at this time. Sky Fleet Admiral! Will this really work? The Air Force and Army generals immediately understood what Kong Gangu meant. He is going to fight to the death. Don't hesitate. If the three of us die, I'll die too. Why don't you keep your strength and avenge me? Although Kong Gukong usually obeys the five elders' orders like a loyal dog, but at the critical moment, he still showed his strong sense of responsibility. His observation haki could already sense that dozens of general-level warriors were on their way from Mariford. But it seems too late. The strength of the Evil One is too terrifying. Therefore, Kong Gang decided to give up his life. Let the two generals of the Air Force and the Army retain their strength. Wait for the five elders' reinforcements to arrive, and kill the Evil Ones together. This result is better than the three of us fighting to the death here and getting wiped out in the end. Good! The Air Force and Army generals are not fools who lack vision. Since the Steel Bone Air Fleet Admiral has made up his mind, they should cherish this opportunity that the Air Fleet Admiral has fought for with his life and retain their strength. Wait for reinforcements to arrive, then avenge Fleet Admiral. Haha, Gangakong, you are quite courageous. Very good. Then die. Seeing that Gangukong was ready to die bravely, Luo Nuo also gave up the Air Force and Army generals outright. Face Steel Bone Sora alone. The Fleet Admiral of the three armies is undoubtedly the biggest lackey of the five elders. Luo Nuo will not show any mercy to such people. The most important thing is that Luo Nuo's observation haki has already detected that the reinforcements from the world government have arrived. The number of general-level warriors alone is at least in the double digits. They are coming with such force, it seems they are all coming for me. Taking advantage of this time, killing Gangu Kong in one fell swoop is the best solution. Extremely evil person! You have created panic among people all over the world. You have caused so many weak people to worry about losing their loved ones and have trouble sleeping and eating. They can't sleep at night. It's no exaggeration to say that you have lost all conscience. Today I am the Fleet Admiral of the three armed forces. Even if it means death, I will bite off a piece of your flesh. Gang Gukong roared angrily, with full momentum. He burned his life, and his originally weak momentum reached its peak again. The severely injured body is also healing quickly. This is the same secret technique used by the five elders in the Valley of the Gods. 6th-style secret technique, life return. At the cost of burning your lifespan, you gain a brief peak of power. Haha, Gangukong, you really know how to talk. Can the evil I have done be even 1/10, or even 1/100th, of what the celestial dragons have done? I didn't wantonly trample on the lives of ordinary people or play with their wives and children. On the contrary, you Marines and the three armies all claim to be righteous, but you are nothing more than the lackeys of the celestial dragons. It is precisely because of your protection that the Tianlong people can do whatever they want and act lawless. Today I am only trying to set things right. Gangu Kong, don't worry. I will definitely kill all those piggy celestial dragons. Then, you will be able to reunite with your master in hell. Luo Nuo snorted coldly, and his momentum was fully released. Directly suppress Gangu Kong's momentum completely. Die. Steel Bone Sora! Behead the general! Luo Nuo shouted angrily and wrapped conquerors around the first-generation Katetsu. Swing hard. An extremely refined white mist shot out. The terrifying sword energy that carried the power of crushing and burning transformed into a roaring white dragon in the air. Combined with Luo Nuo's original supreme swordsmanship, it is enough to destroy everything that is swept by the sword energy. Evildoer! I will wait for you in hell. Today! Faced with this fierce sword energy, Gangu simply gave up resistance. Choose to die bravely. After all, he could also feel that resistance was useless. Even if he used up all his armament haki, he couldn't resist this almost divine attack. Fortunately, I also used my life to protect the two generals, rather than sacrifice in vain. With a smile on his face, Kong Gangu rushed towards Luo Nuo's attack. Sky Fleet Admiral! The huge commotion created by Luo No immediately attracted the attention of the powerful people present. Then, everyone was stunned. Luo No's ultimate sword energy transformed into a white dragon, roaring directly towards Gang Kong's heart. Boom! A flash of white light. The brightness was so high that everyone present closed their eyes subconsciously. After opening their eyes, everyone was shocked. The white dragon had disappeared, and a shocking blood hole appeared on Gang Kong's left chest. The heart is gone. Only the blood vessels and bits of flesh are still beating. Obviously, Gang Kong's heart had been instantly pierced by Luo No's attack. Immediately afterwards, Gang Kong fell heavily to the ground, his breath completely gone. Fleet Admiral Kong Zi is dead. Immediately, the entire Marineford fell into deathly silence. The Fleet Admiral has been killed. Extra large! Extra large! This time, the world will fall into eternal damnation. We have witnessed history with our own eyes. The scene of Sora's death was broadcast live to the whole world through Den Den Mushi. Many people immediately covered their mouths, trying hard not to lose their composure. As the Fleet Admiral of the three armed forces, Kong's status is extremely high. In the world government, the Fleet Admiral is second only to the 5 elders and can decide the appointment of the Marine Fleet Admiral. He is second only to the 5 elders and is above everyone else. The death of such a powerful and influential person means that the world government can no longer suppress the edge of the god-killing pirates. They will face the greatest challenge in 800 years. At the same time, Marineford fell into a dead silence. Then, there was an extremely noisy sound. Kulala! That old guy Kong was killed! As expected of our captain. Ha 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 ha! Of the 5 general-level warriors, 3 were killed, leaving only 2. The end of Marine is coming! It's so exciting! I haven't been this excited in a long time. It turns out that following Luo No was the right choice. Whitebeard, Red Earl, Rayleigh, Bullet and other legendary pirates are also grinning and extremely excited at this moment. Kong Gu was the Fleet Admiral of the 3 armed forces. His death was definitely a devastating blow to the morale of the Marines. That's really exaggerated. 1 man against 5, killing 3 of them, including the Fleet Admiral. Those 5 elders bastards must be getting really nervous. As expected of you, Mr. Luo No. It seems fortunate that Mr. Luo No used a small knife to spar with me, otherwise my fate would not be much better than that of Kong Gong and the others. Lord Luo No, I will always follow you. Cyborg Singh is dead. The biggest lackey of the Celestial Dragons is also dead. As expected of a hero like Luo No. We will definitely kill all the Celestial Dragons and overthrow the world government. Marine, wake up! Hawkeye, Boa Hancock, Doflamingo, Jinbei and Marco's team were also deeply shocked by this scene. Who else in the world today can fight 5 generals at once and kill 3 of them in a short period of time? Who else could do it except their captain Luo No? Sky Fleet Admiral. In sharp contrast to the pirates is the Marine. Especially Zhang Gua, the Marine veteran who was over 70 years old, couldn't stop crying the moment he saw Kong's death. Cry bitterly. After all, Kong Gu Kong is considered to be Sengoku's teacher and mentor. Without Kong Gang's careful cultivation and recommendation, Zhang Gua would not have been able to take the position of Marine Fleet Admiral. In addition to Sengoku feeling sad, Garp, Zephyr, Crane and other Marine veterans. They shed tears too. Although Sengoku, Garp and other Marine veterans are over 70 years old and have experienced countless things, it is impossible for them to lose their composure like this under normal circumstances. But the one who died was Kong Gang. If Zephyr is the teacher of this generation of Marine, then Cyborg Sora is undoubtedly the teacher of the previous generation of Marine. Sengoku, Garp, Crane, Zephyr and others all owe a lot to Kong Gu Kong, which is why they are what they are today. Extremely evil people. I, Marine, will never coexist with you. Even if I muster all my strength, I will kill you right here. At this moment, Vice Admiral he couldn't help but yell at Luo No. Even the usually calm and experienced Vice Admiral Tsuru lost his composure like this, which shows how much of a blow the death of Kong Kong had to Marine. Haven't we been at loggerheads for a long time? Crane? When you decided to protect the Tianlong people, it was destined that one of us would be killed by the other. Luo Noa looked at the lost he, grinned, and laughed. As expected, the death of the fleet admiral was a fatal blow to the Marine. Especially for Marine veterans like Sengoku, Garp, Zephyr, and Crane. Kong Gang is their spiritual pillar. Now that Cyborg is dead, they are about to be crushed. As expected, the battle between Sengoku, Garp, Whitebeard, and Red Count immediately fell into a disadvantage. Time is running out. Right now, Luo Noa has an extremely important task to complete quickly. After all, the future-foreseeing observation Haki has already sensed that he is about to be surrounded. Moreover, the number of people coming is no less than that of the battle in the Valley of Gods 36 years ago. Swish! Luo Noa flashed to the execution platform and faced Portgas Diaz, the protagonist of this public execution. Although he is the protagonist, at this stage of the war, it doesn't matter whether Ace dies or not. The world government will surely direct all its attacks towards itself. But saving Ace was Luo Noa's instruction to Roger. It was impossible for Luo Noa to remain indifferent when facing the execution of his best friend's son. Oink. No keys needed at all. With supreme swordsmanship and crushing power, even Seastone as hard as diamond is no match for Luo Noa. Ace will never forget your great kindness. After being rescued, Ace immediately bowed to Luo Noa. He knelt on both knees and kowtowed. This isn't just Ace's way of saying thank you for being rescued. It was Ace's way of thanking Luo Noa for helping his father block Squard's sword. If Luo Noa hadn't suddenly appeared, Dad would have been stabbed by Squard. If that happens, Dad's already extremely bad physical condition will be even worse. You are Roger's son and Whitebeard's adopted son. It is only natural for me to save you. After all, when Roger was still alive, he helped me a lot. Let's leave here quickly. We will be surrounded soon. Luo Noa looked at Ace and gave him a warm smile. Then he kicked Ace hundreds of meters away without any hesitation. Ace was kicked very accurately into the battlefield of Straw Hat Boy Luffy. After all, with Ace's speed, if Luo Noa wanted to escape quickly, he had to do it himself. Nanny! Someone seems to be coming! Luffy was startled when he saw a man suddenly falling from the sky. Ace. It's actually Ace! You've been rescued! When the figure landed, Luffy saw who it was and immediately gave his signature laugh. Thanks to Dad's brother, Luo Noa! But Luffy, you actually came here, which really scared me. Ace also looked at Luffy, showing a smile of surviving a disaster, and the two brothers hugged each other tightly. We really have to thank Luo Noa. Without him, we might never meet again. Luffy was also very grateful to Luo Noa in his heart. If it weren't for him, with Marine's momentum, Ace would have died 7 or 8 times. He is indeed a great man. Seeing this, Zoro, Sanji, and Nami, Usopp, Chopper, Robin and other members of the Straw Hat Pirates who were not far away also smiled with relief. By rescuing Ace, the Straw Hat Pirates have accomplished their purpose of this public execution. Hey, calm down, Straw Hat Boy Luffy, Fire Fist Ace. Pirates, stop being so proud in front of Marine. Smoker was very upset when he saw this scene. As one of the few people in the Marine Corps who truly cares about the people and upholds justice, Smoker immediately raised the Seastone weapon in his hand and fiercely stabbed the 2 people in front of him. Smoker. See you again. But this is my brother, so please don't attack him. Ace protected Luffy behind him and showed a confident smile. Ace, be careful, you can't hit him with that smoky body. Luffy quickly reminded Ace. Don't worry, Luffy. When you grow up, you will know how to deal with this type of enemy. Ace showed a confident smile, then released flames and rushed forward. A fierce battle with Smoker. Facing Conqueror's Ace, who has armament Haki, Smoker is also at a disadvantage. Whitebeard's second squad leader, Portgas Ace, has also been rescued. This time, Marine has suffered a total failure. How will this war end? Seeing Ace being rescued, people all over the world were once again heartbroken. This time, Marine was completely in a passive position. If the world government does not take any action, this war can basically be declared a complete victory for the God's Slayer pirates. Just when people all over the world are thinking this, sudden oink oink, oink oink, oink oink. Over a dozen figures suddenly appeared in the sky above Mariford. The aura of each figure is quite terrifying. Wait until you see these figures clearly. The whole world suddenly burst into exclamations. Five elders appeared. And those people in armor are undoubtedly the Knights of God. The world's highest power takes action personally. The world's highest power takes action personally. And that knight's uniform with medieval armor is definitely the Knights of God. The troops directly under the celestial dragons are here too. After seeing the figure clearly appearing in the sky above Mariford, the whole world cried out in surprise. For many people, it was the first time they saw the 5 elders in person. And once it was launched, there were so many people. Mariford was originally shrouded in sorrow, as if he had lost his parents. Marine Sengoku, Garp, Crane, and Zephyr were hit hard by Sora's death. After seeing who was coming, I wiped away my tears and was cheered up. As expected, it came. 5 elders. Not only that, the Knights of God have also arrived. The 5 elders are all stronger than their predecessors 36 years ago. The strength is all at the Emperor level. There are 10 Knights of God in total. 5 of them have the aura of being great generals, and the other 5 are slightly younger, with the aura of being candidates for great generals. The difference in strength between a general candidate and a general is minimal. Except for a weakness in one aspect, he can almost be considered a general-level powerhouse. This is equivalent to sending out 15 general-level warriors at once. I have to say that the world government's foundation is indeed profound. The awakening of 19 kings 36 years ago has already surprised Sengoku, Garp, and others. This time, more than a dozen general-level warriors were dispatched. Even people like Sengoku, Garp, Crane, and Zephyr saw the Knights of God in action for the first time. And us. The time that Fleet Admiral Cyborg bought with his life was for this moment. Today, we must avenge Fleet Admiral. Seeing 5 elders and his men arrive, 2 general-level warriors from the Air Force and Army also stepped forward. There were 17 great generals in total, so terrifying that they surrounded Luo Nuo. This lineup is almost replicating the Battle of God Valley 36 years ago. Cyborg is dead. What a pity! After seeing Kong's body, the 5 elders couldn't help but feel sorry. This guy is very obedient and capable, and is definitely the most suitable candidate for the Fleet Admiral of the Armed Forces. Once Kong Ganga died, it would not be easy to find another guy as obedient as him. Eliminate the extremely evil person before you. We must bring the body back this time. The 10 members of the Knights of God said condescendingly. There is infinite murderous intent in his eyes. The most evil person has been bothering Lord Yim again and again. This villain must be killed. Not only the 5 elders and the Knights of God have arrived. At this moment, several figures appeared in Mariford. A tall man wearing a purple coat, with his eyes closed and a shocking scar on his face. Holding a special weapon that can be used as both a walking stick and a sword, he exudes a terrifying aura. His name is Ishiao, a general-level strongman from a country affiliated with the world government. The other man was about 3 meters tall, wearing casual sunglasses, holding a rolled cigarette, and his upper body was naked, revealing his strong muscles. The most eye-catching is the tattoo from the left chest to the left waist. There are 4 big characters tattooed on it. Dead River in the heart. The person who came was Huang Mu, a general-level strongman from a member country of the world government. These 2 people are both genuine general-level strongmen. Including these 2, there are a total of 17 general-level warriors who have arrived in Mariford. Plus the original Air Force and Army generals. A total of 19 general-level warriors are ready to fight. Extremely evil person, so ferocious. Hey, are you kidding me? What's going on? If I had known it would be so troublesome, I wouldn't have come here. The moment Yi Xiao and Huang Mu arrived at Meriford, after seeing this lineup, the two general-level warriors couldn't help but shudder. They had never seen such a situation before. Damn it! Those old bastards in the world government actually have such a deep background. This is bad. We killed Kong Kong, saved Port Gasti, Ace, and announced the establishment of the God Killer Pirates to the world. We have achieved our goal, right? Anyway, let's go to the captain first. Oink oink! The next moment, Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Bullet, Burndy Wald, Red Earl, Shaky and others also changed their expressions. Then he immediately gave up on his opponents like Sengoku, Garp, Akiji, Kizaru, etc., and came to Luo Nuo. So many great generals, this is no joke. This scene looks very familiar, and it feels like the battle in the Valley of Gods 36 years ago, when 19 kings awakened. The Battle of God Valley 36 years ago was caused by the sudden awakening of the 19 kings. The Rocks pirates, who were about to see the dawn of victory, were directly driven to the bottom of the valley. Captain Rocks is dead and Vice Captain Luo Nuo is missing. Then the Rocks pirates fell apart. As the big pirates who witnessed all this, including Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Bullet, Red Earl, Burndy Walder, etc., were also shocked when the 5 elders and others appeared. Another sudden attack by 19 general-level warriors. This scene is so similar to what happened 36 years ago. We must not repeat the mistakes of the battle in God Valley 36 years ago. At the same time, in addition to these legendary pirates, Mako, Jozu and other captains of the Whitebeard pirates and more than 40 captains had already won an overwhelming victory against the Marine Vice Admiral lineup. In addition, the former Shichibukai army, including Hawkeye, Empress, Jinbei, Crocodile, Doflamingo, Mariah, etc., also gasped after seeing this lineup, including the 5 elders who came to support the Knights of God. 2 powerful men from the countries that have joined the world government, a smile, Huangmu. In addition, there are Sengoku, Garp, the 3 admirals, Zephyr and others from the original Marine headquarters, and the Air Force and Army generals. A total of more than 20 general-level warriors. How could these New Age pirates who had never experienced the Battle of God Valley have ever experienced such a lineup? However, despite their surprise, these people immediately reacted, stopped and came to Luo Nuo's side. Enel also quickly came to Luo Nuo's side holding the live broadcast Mushi. Luffy, the situation is urgent now, take your friends and get away. The next battle is not something you can interfere with. Seeing this, Ace also prepared to go to the center of the battlefield to provide support. What about you, Ace? You can't even participate in a battle like this, Luffy said very worriedly. Don't worry, I'm the captain of Whitebeard's second squad. What's more, I feel a certain power throbbing inside me. It seems that the bloodline of my bastard father is awakening. Ace felt the power in his body surging and rolling, as if it was about to explode. Although I am very reluctant to admit that I am Roger's son. But at this critical moment, Ace must use the blood and power of his bastard father. After that, Ace settled Luffy and the others and stood in the team of the God Slayer pirates. At one time, many members of the God-killing pirates, including Luo Nuo, and other great pirates such as Whitebeard, plus 6 former Shichibukai, and captains of Whitebeard's squad, confronted with the Marine headquarters, 5 elders, and more than 20 general-level warriors of the Knights of God. The suffocatingly tense atmosphere alone was enough to terrify strong men below the rank of lieutenant general into being unable to move. This. The world government is indeed the world government. There are so many great generals on the scene. It seems that our worries are unnecessary. Even though the Godkiller pirates have gathered so many pirates, the outcome of this war has already been decided. At the same time, people all over the world saw that the world government had dispatched 2-digit general-level strongmen in one go. I was completely stunned on the spot. Some elders were so surprised that they were speechless. How similar is this scene to the battle in the Valley of Gods 36 years ago? It's simply a replica. With this lineup, the God Slayer pirates are not good enough. As expected of the world government, with 800 years of heritage. As expected, it is extremely difficult to shake the rule of the world government. What a surprised evildoer! As soon as you appeared, you attracted so many powerful people to work for you. Your existence is the biggest threat to the world government. Waiting for all the strong men of the God-killing pirates to gather. The 5 elders, the Knights of God and others were also secretly shocked. This lineup includes the 4 emperors of New World and several legends. It can be said that all the powerful and well-known figures in the entire Great Pirate era have joined the God-killing pirates. The most evil ones must be eliminated. Otherwise there will be endless troubles. Retreat. Luo Nuo. I don't want to repeat what happened 36 years ago. As long as the mountains remain, there is no need for us to be as anxious as we were 36 years ago. After returning to the New World and making full preparations, there is no rush to launch a huge war against the world government. At this moment, Whitebeard came to Luo Nuo and said to him, Whitebeard doesn't want to experience the moment of Luo Nuo's death 36 years ago again. Other pirates, including Rayleigh, Red Earl, Bullet, Shaky, Burndy Wald and other legends who personally experienced the Battle of God Valley, also looked at Luo Nuo. Obviously, they agree with Whitebeard's proposal. Haha, Whitebeard, you want to retreat? Do you think it's possible? Unless you leave the evil ones here, I can consider letting you go. Among the 5 elders, the old man wearing a kimono and holding a supreme sword snorted coldly. Today, we must kill the evil one, no matter what. That's right, anyone can retreat. The evil ones must stay. If you don't want to die, get out of this Mariford. One of the Knights of God stood up and shouted angrily. Why does this sound so familiar? It seems that someone said the same thing 36 years ago. 5 elders, do you think we would abandon our captain? Isn't it just a war? Do you really think we are old? Rayleigh, Bullet, Red Earl and others said with disdain. The world government also said this 36 years ago. The world government has a deep foundation, but these pirates are not the kind of people who are afraid of death. It is absolutely impossible to ask them to abandon their captain just to save their lives. Everyone listen up, focus your fire on the evil ones first. You can let everyone else go, just kill the extremely evil criminal. Soon, the 5 elders issued the highest order. Just like 36 years ago, we can let anyone go except the extremely evil criminals. As long as he is alive, the world government will never have peace. Such threats must be eradicated completely, and this time we must learn from the lessons of 36 years ago. Death must be seen. His body must be brought back for Lord Yim to personally inspect. Kill. The 5 elders gave the order. Marine, the Knights of God, and Yi Xiao, Huangmu and the generals of the Air Force and the Army immediately burst out with terrifying momentum. The auras of dozens of great generals condensed into a terrifying wave of energy. It burst out like an overwhelming force, sweeping across the wilderness. Boom, boom, boom! On the other hand, the strong men of the God-killing pirates were not afraid at all. At that moment, Luo Nuo, Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Bullet, Red Earl, Doflamingo, Empress, Ace and other powerful people with Conqueror's domineering power also pushed their momentum to the peak. The two forces clashed fiercely, and it seemed as if all the air in Mariford had been sucked out. The feeling of suffocation is coming. Whether it's a pirate or a marine. Almost 90% of the warriors below the rank of lieutenant general were knocked to the ground, their eyes turning white. Only a few lucky ones were not affected by this terrifying aura. What a terrible scene! In this kind of battle, we seem to be redundant. At this moment, some elite lieutenant generals such as Flying Squirrel, Fire Mountain, Ghost Spider and others. Looking at the confrontation between these dozens of great generals, I couldn't help but smile bitterly. In a battle like this, these elite lieutenant generals don't even have the qualifications to intervene. If they are not careful, even they will be shocked by this terrifying aura. Therefore, these elite lieutenant generals retreated very consciously. We have no way of participating in such a battle. If you insist on participating, you will only hinder Captain Luo Nua and my father. On the other hand, some captains and squad leaders of the Whitebeard pirates with bounties below 500 million also consciously retreated to the side. This kind of battle is no longer something that people of their strength can participate in. Something's wrong. Marineford. It seems someone else has appeared. At this moment, suddenly, a voice resounded throughout Marineford. In the crowd, the sharp-eyed warriors or warriors with outstanding observation hockey sensed it instantly. There are actually some powerful auras heading towards Marineford. Could it be possible that the world government has reinforcements? For a moment, everyone in the God Slayer pirates was stunned. Not only the God-killers, but also the 5 elders and the Knights of God were stunned. It can be said that almost all the forces that the world government can mobilize are in Marineford. There is no other power. Who would come to Marineford at this time? Soon, everyone saw the approaching ship. The ship was glittering with gold and extremely luxurious. The gold inlaid on the ship was enough to dazzle everyone's eyes. The man standing on the golden deck, in the lead, had an exaggerated slicked-back hair and was wearing a pink suit, looking very coquettish. 9 of the man's 10 fingers were wearing gold diamond rings, except for the ring finger on his left hand. The aura he exudes is even at the level of a candidate for general. It can't be wrong. New World, one of the kings of the Dark World, Golden Emperor, Guild Tesoro. What is he doing here? The people present quickly recognized the newcomer. The head of Gulen Tezulo, the world's largest entertainment city. One of the kings of the Dark World. The powerful man known as the Golden Emperor, Guild Tesoro. He is a strong man whose strength is comparable to that of the general candidate. And that's not all. And there are other ships? It seems that there are other people rushing to Marineford. In addition to the Golden Emperor's ships, several large ships appeared in the port of Marineford. On those large ships, without exception, all of them are the great pirates of the New World. Among them, there are several legendary pirates. Why did these pirates suddenly appear in Marineford? Many people, including Ma Lin, and the people all over the world, were stunned at this moment. What is the Golden Emperor doing in Marineford? And, besides the Golden Emperor, there are so many ships. These ships, without exception, are all pirate ships. The people of Marineford were stunned, and so were the people of the world. In addition to the Golden Emperor, many ships appeared in Marineford. Each of these pirate ships is a famous pirate. That's it. Am I seeing right? The great pirate of the last era, the 8 Treasures Navy, with a bounty of 500 million berries, the 12th generation pillar, the leader Qingjiao. He is the legendary pirate who fought against Golden Lion, Roger, and Whitebeard in the last era. Although the bounty was 500 million, he was already a very powerful pirate in that era. Soon, everyone saw that among the many pirate ships that came, there was one carrying the great pirate Green Pepper. Is that the evil Luo Nua that Chief Green Pepper mentioned? A man who is inferior to One Piece Gold, Roger and Whitebeard. A guy who almost brought down the world government. Beside Qin Jiao, Lao Kai, the 13th pillar of the Babao Navy, and Bu Wu, the 13th deputy pillar of the Babao Navy, looked at the scene of Marin Fando and swallowed unconsciously. Does the Babao Navy really want to participate in such a battle? That's not all. Who is that woman? She looks so disgusting. It seems to be Miss Ba Jing. This girl is not very strong. Is she here to die? Idiot! Didn't you see the man behind Miss Pekin? That tall man with an idiotic face and a moron-like appearance. If I'm not mistaken, it's Edward Weeble, a pirate with a bounty of over 480 million berries. Rumor has it that Edward Weeble is very powerful, and even has the strength to be a candidate for general. Soon everyone saw Miss Pekin and a strong man named Edward Weeble. Ha ha ha, looks like I've caught up. The wave of the times. I see Vice Captain Luo Nuo again. He is still as handsome and young as before. And that Whitebeard guy is here too. That annoying woman Shachi is here too. Miss Pekin, whose wrinkles could be used to crack walnuts, also saw the scene of Mariford from afar and became excited. Oh? Mom! Is Whitebeard here too? Isn't Whitebeard my biological father? I'm finally going to meet my biological dad? That's great. Edward Weeble was so excited when he heard Whitebeard's name that he almost cried. I'm finally going to see my long-lost father. Oh? Miss Pekin? That annoying woman is here too. At the same time, in Mariford, Whitebeard also saw Miss Pekin and frowned. Even Xia Qi was shocked when he saw the old woman Miss Pekin. After all, this guy was once a member of the Rocks Pirates. He has very weak strength, but he is very cunning and as greedy for money as John. But she doesn't have John's strength, so she is not very popular in the Rocks Pirates. If I remember correctly, she once hooked up with Whitebeard, Golden Lion, and even Vice Captain Luo Nuo. But no one paid any attention to her. I didn't expect that she is still a pirate now, and she has found a powerful crew member named Edward Weeble. Miss Pekin when she was young. Besides, and there's more. The members on that ship, if I'm not mistaken, are the strong men of the Fur Tribe. They are the two kings of the furry principality of Zhou. And their subordinates. The leader of the Fur Tribe who rules the night, the king of the night. Cat Viper. And the daytime boss of the Fur Tribe, Duke Inuarashi. If I remember correctly, these two were once members of One Piece Gold, Roger's crew. And these two are incredibly powerful. They are strong enough to rival the four Emperor's top executives. Their strength has reached the level of the three disasters, the four generals, and the captain. Two more heavyweights appeared. And the Fur Tribe warriors behind them are also very powerful. Oh? Cat Viper, Inuarashi and the others are here too? What are these two guys doing here? Rayleigh, Bullet, Marco and others were all stunned when they saw Cat Viper and Inuarashi. These two had originally been on Whitebeard's ship with Kazuki Odin. Later, Kazuki Odin followed and switched to the Roger Pirates. So I know Rayleigh, Bullet and Marco. Deputy Captain Rayleigh and Old Man Whitebeard are here. Marco is here too, still so active. That's the hero Luo Nuo who once saved many slaves of the Mink tribe. I often hear his name in the Whitebeard Pirates and Roger Pirates. I had dreamed of meeting him for so many years, and now my wish has finally come true. Cat Viper and Inuarashi also watched from afar. First, focus on Rayleigh, Whitebeard, and Marco. Then the two of them fixed their burning gazes on Luo Nuo. Luo Nuo, the hero who once saved many fur tribes from the celestial dragons. As many ships suddenly appeared in Mariford. The strong men at the Mariford scene were all stunned. The whole world is stunned. Why did so many powerful people from the New World suddenly gather in Mariford? What was their purpose? What exactly is their stance? Is this the reinforcements invited by the world government? All of this is lingering in the hearts of people all over the world. After all, the current war situation is too suffocating. If these strong men join any side, it is very likely to change the situation of the war. What are these pirates doing here? At the same time, the 5 elders and the Knights of God had a bad feeling in their hearts. After all, with so many pirates appearing here at the same time, it's hard not to guess that they all have a purpose for coming to Mariford. They are all incredible guys. The strong men from the New World are here too. At this moment, the Empress, Crocodile, Doflamingo, Jinbei and others were also looking at the many pirates coming, and they were confused. Among these pirates who came here, their strength is not much worse than theirs. What is their purpose in appearing here? The next moment, everyone's doubts were answered. All these pirates landed on Mariford. Then, in full view of everyone, he came to Luo Nuo and bowed down. Golden Emperor Guild Tesoro. I hope to join the god-killing pirates. Fight for Lord Luo Nuo. Fight to kill all the celestial dragons. Hachibo Navy. I hope to join the godkiller pirates. Fight to overthrow the world government. Vice Captain Luo Nuo, I'm Miss Bikini. Do you still remember me? If you don't mind, please let me join the God Slayer pirates. And my son Edward Weeble, he can also contribute a bit. I've heard a lot about you. Hero, Luo Nuo. Cat Viper, Dog Storm and many other Fur Tribe warriors beg you to fight for the hero, Luo Nuo. The next moment, many pirates immediately stated their intentions. The Marines, 5 elders, and Knights of God present. People all over the world were shocked and their eyes widened. Their faces were filled with disbelief. You are really thoughtful to come here to seek refuge in such a dire situation. Luo Nuo looked at the many pirates who were bowing to him, and a pleased smile appeared on his face. The situation in Marineford is now clear. The world government has a very deep foundation, and it dispatched more than a dozen general-level warriors at once, which is an overwhelming advantage. But even so, these people are willing to come and join me. No matter what these people's purpose is, they resolutely choose to fight for the God-killer pirates under such a disadvantageous situation. Fight for yourself. Luo Nuo must also agree to their request. With Luo Nuo's nod, the pirates including the Golden Emperor, Inuarashi, Cat Viper, Miss Bikini, and Chow all showed happy smiles. Immediately, these pirates who came here led their own forces, and all stood on the side of the God-killing pirates. Confronted with the huge forces of Marine, 5 elders, and the Knights of God. This. So many pirates have come to Marineford. Are they all here to join the God-killer pirates? Oh my God! The Golden Emperor. The 8 Treasures Navy. Cat Viper. Inuarashi. And Edward Weeble. All these people put together, I'm afraid they'd be at least a low-profile 4 Emperors group. Yes. After all, the Golden Emperor and Edward Weeble are both capable of being candidates for generals. Cat Viper. Inuarashi. Both of them have the strength of the highest officers of the Imperial group. The power of the Godkillers was already terrifying enough. Now they have the equivalent of a low-profile 4 Emperors joining them. People all over the world were shocked by this scene. So many pirates traveled all the way from New World to Marineford just to join Lono. Join the God-killing pirates. The appeal of the Evil One is so terrifying. As expected of Captain Luo Nuo. His appeal is so formidable. So many strong people came to join us with just one sentence. Joining the God Slayer pirates was indeed the right choice. With the joining of many great pirates, Crocodile, Doflamingo, Moria and others were extremely surprised and at the same time extremely grateful. As expected of the extremely evil. Just one sentence can attract so many pirates from the New World. He chose to join the God-killing pirates at such a desperate moment. My original decision was indeed the right one. Gulala. It's normal for Luo Nuo to have such appeal. Yes. Didn't you see that all of us legends chose to follow Luo Nuo? Let's fight. World Government. 5 Elders. Whitebeard Rayleigh, Red Earl, Bullet and others had anticipated this. After all, these men who truly stood at the top of the last pirate era all chose to follow Luo Nuo without hesitation. It is perfectly normal for Luo Nuo to be able to win over these second-tier strong men. Not even that surprising. Haha! Joining a bunch of random people won't make any difference. 2 strong general candidates, 2 of the highest-ranking officers of the Imperial Corps, cannot influence the outcome of this battle at all. The advantage is still on our side. The 5 elders, the Knights of God and others also immediately regained their composure and said with disdain, when it comes to general-level warriors, they have an absolute overwhelming advantage. On his side, he had 5 elders, Sengoku, Garp, 3 Marine Admirals, and 5 general-level warriors from the Knights of God. Together with the Air Force and Army generals, and 2 strong men from the allied countries, Huang Mu. If we had the 5 general candidates of the Knights of God, and the 2 general candidates Momosaji and Shaitan, a total of more than 25 general-level warriors, still firmly holds the absolute advantage. Just the addition of people like the Golden Emperor is not enough to turn the tide. Ha ha! The five elders, the Knights of God, are really too rampant. Who do you think is a cat or a dog? You idiots who have been sitting on the altar all this time, don't you know that you are about to die? Prepare to be killed and die. Just when the five elders were feeling smug, the next moment, two cold voices appeared in Merriford. The tone was full of disdain and contempt for the five elders. Who is it? Whoever dares to talk nonsense is looking for death. How dare you insult the celestial dragons? Come out and die. After hearing this tone, the CP0 present immediately started cursing. The five elders, the Knights of God, are also celestial dragons. CP0 will never allow anyone to insult the celestial dragons. What's that sound? What a familiar voice! Could it be? Meanwhile, Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Bullet, Red Earl, Burndy-Walled, Shocky, Miss Barkin, as well as Sengoku, Garp, the three admirals, Crane, Zephyr, and others. All the strong men who participated in the Battle of God Valley 36 years ago were attracted by these two voices. After all, this voice is so familiar. Next moment, everyone will be cheering. Then two figures led their respective pirate groups and appeared in front of everyone. The two men in the lead had gray beards and gray hair. They looked quite old. Don't be fooled by their age, they are both very imposing. Even the two of them exuded the terrifying aura of a genuine Emperor-level strongman. The pirate group members behind them also include some famous and powerful members. These two people are the former captains of the Rocks Pirates' 7 divisions. He is also a great pirate who is as famous as Bullet, Rayleigh, Burndy-Walled, and other legendary pirates present. Even these people are still active in New World. One of them is the legendary One Piece leader who occupies the pirate island of Hachinos. The other one is Silveraxe, a legendary pirate who is as famous as Achaku. Achaku! Silveraxe! After seeing the two of them, as well as the Achaku pirates and the Silver Axe pirates behind them, the faces of the five elders, the Knights of God, Sengoku, Garp, and others immediately turned gloomy. These two people are not at the same level as the Golden Emperor and Edward Weeble just now. These two are real heavyweights. A genuine Emperor-level warrior. A legendary pirate who can stand on equal footing with Whitebeard, Rayleigh, and others, and is able to chat and laugh freely. Kulala! Achaku! Silveraxe! Why are you two bastards here too? When Whitebeard saw the two men, he couldn't help but burst into laughter, his laughter reaching the sky. Whitebeard was a little surprised that these two guys came. What a surprise! Even these two are here! Bullet also had a shocked expression on his face. He had never expected that these two people would come. These two too! All the old comrades from back then are here! Rayleigh was surprised and very excited. Achaku! Silveraxe! These two were also the old guys who fought side by side in the Battle of God Valley. It's really surprising. These two are as strong as us. I never thought that these two old guys couldn't help themselves and were about to take action like us. Burndy-Walled and the Red Earl were also surprised. If the Golden Emperor, Edward Weeble, Green Pepper, Cat Viper, and Inuarashi just now are the second-level strongmen, these people are not important enough to warrant special treatment from Rayleigh, Bullet, Red Earl, and others. Achaku, Silveraxe, is undoubtedly the most powerful person in this sea. After all, they were both the captains of the monster-filled Rocks Pirates. His strength has already reached the level of a general emperor. Even Captain Silveraxe! Captain Achaku is here too! Xiachi was also stunned. The strength of these two people is not lower than that of Rayleigh, Bullet, and others. Miss Bakine also broke out in a cold sweat. As a member of the Rocks Pirates, she is well aware of the strengths of these two captains. This is a true legendary pirate. A pirate on the same level as Pluton Rayleigh, Red Earl, and others. Even in terms of strength, these two are not much different from the current 4 emperors. The Golden Emperor, Doflamingo, Crocodile, Mariah, and others also stood there in a daze after seeing Achaku and Silveraxe. This is a true pirate legend. A strong man who has been active on the sea for decades. Even they appeared in Merryford. Whitebeard, you are such a disgrace. If it weren't for Vice Captain Luo, you would have been stabbed by your men. As soon as Achaku and Silveraxe arrived, they started to laugh at Whitebeard. Kulala! You two bastards are here just to taunt me. I'm going to throw you into the sea right now. Whitebeard also laughed, and this was not an argument. It's the tacit understanding between the strong. Rayleigh, Bullet, Red Earl, Burndy Walder, these guys from the old days are all here too. Achaku, Silveraxe's eyes swept through the strong men present one by one. Immediately his eyes fell on Luo. Then a scene that no one present expected occurred. Achaku and Infu, two old guys over 70, felt their noses sore and their eyes turned red with tears when they saw Luo. He trotted all the way to Luo's sight. Immediately, the two of them wiped their tears, calmed down, and complained to Luo. Vice Captain Luo, you are too polite. You formed your own pirate group without even telling us old guys. Are you worried that we can't lift the knife? Although we are already 70, we still have enough strength to follow Vice Captain Luo to kill the celestial dragons. That's right. Vice Captain Luo is so reserved. He actually went to find those old guys from Rayleigh first. After all, we were partners on the same boat back then. Achaku and Silveraxe both started to talk nonstop, and their reaction was exactly the same as Whitebeard's. Ha ha ha, didn't I deliberately choose to announce this news live in front of the whole world? Didn't you receive it too? It's not too late yet. Luo looked at the two old friends who had fought side by side and couldn't help but say with emotion, That's right. If that's the case, then killing the celestial dragons and overthrowing the world government will definitely require the help of a group of old guys like us. Let us complete the great work that was not completed 36 years ago. Yes. Captain of the 4th Division of the Rocks Pirates. Silveraxe reports in. Applying to join the Godkiller Pirates. Captain of the Rocks Pirates 6th Division. Achaku is reporting in. Applying to join the Godkiller Pirates. Immediately, the two great pirates, in front of everyone, without any hesitation, directly surrendered to Luo. Ha! Granted. Come to my ship. You are still the captain. Luo looked at his two old partners and became excited. Same as 36 years ago. Or are these old guys standing by my side? It's like it's never changed. Ha! 5 elders, prepare to die. That's right, look who died today. Achaku and Jinfu both laughed loudly, full of pride and vigor. Confrontation with 5 elders, Knights of God, Marine and others. 2 legendary pirates just joined like that. It's really not easy. Captain Luo's reputation is so terrifying. Just by announcing it, even legends like Achaku and Silveraxe came from the New World to join him. That's really exaggerated. See this scene. Even Hawkeye, Empress, Moria, Crocodile, Jinbei, Doflamingo, Marco, Jaws and others who had not personally experienced the Battle of God Valley 36 years ago. I feel my blood boiling. What kind of pirate group did I join? Just one sentence is enough to attract so many pirate legends to come. This appeal is too exaggerated. It's going to be a riot. Achaku. Silveraxe has also joined the God Slayer Pirates. Oh my God! What's going on with this lineup? People all over the world were also shocked by this scene. These two are true legends, and they came to us just because of one sentence. What a terrifying appeal it takes to achieve this. Damn pirates! One after another! Just like cockroaches, endless. The expressions of the 5 elders and the Knights of God also changed slightly. The addition of the 2 legends has brought about subtle changes to the situation on the battlefield. The originally overwhelming situation has become somewhat confusing again. But it's not out of control. At least so far, the world government still has an overwhelming advantage. Just at this moment. Boom, boom, boom. The sky of Merryford seemed to be covered and suddenly became dark. This sudden change immediately attracted the attention of everyone present. Then, everyone looked up and suddenly discovered. At some point, an island appeared floating above Mariford. What is going on? How can there be an island floating in the sky? What's going on? The Marines or pirates who were not familiar with the situation cried out in surprise. After all, the island is floating in the sky. This scene is too strange no matter how you look at it. Is he here? That bastard! Only the pirates present, including Luonno, Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Bullet, Achaku, Silveraxe, who had experienced the Battle of God Valley 36 years ago, smiled knowingly. Floating island! Only one person can do such a thing? Similarly, the Marine side went through the Warring States period of the Battle of God Valley 36 years ago, Garp, Zephyr, Crane, and the three Marine admirals Akainu, Akiji, and Kizaru. At this moment, their faces changed drastically. A familiar figure emerged in my mind. Even the five elders, the Knights of God, couldn't hold back their expressions. You can't go wrong. There is only one person in this world who can do this. This guy actually came too. Next moment. Ha! So many old guys are here. It's really a prosperous scene, so nostalgic. As expected of Vice Captain Luonno. How can such a grand event be complete without Lousy? Ha! Sure enough, the next moment, a familiar voice reached everyone's ears. Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Bullet, Achaku, Silveraxe and others were all shocked. After all, this voice is so familiar. Then, just as everyone expected, a figure appeared at the edge of the island. The striking long golden hair is like a lion's mane, which is very impressive. There was a strange ship's rudder stuck on the top of its head, which seemed to be inserted very deep, affecting its strong temperament, and making it look a bit funny. His legs were already broken, and were replaced with two famous swords, Ingju and Kumu. The person who came was one of the top heroes in the last era who was able to compete for the throne of One Piece. Along with Roger and Whitebeard, he is also known as the top pirate of the three great pirate legends Golden Lion, Shiki. In addition to the Golden Lion, there was another person standing next to him. He is tall, muscular, and looks strong. She has a very distinctive long hair and wears very distinctive sunglasses. With such a powerful aura, he is a true Emperor-level warrior. The former third in command of Roger's pirates, as famous as Pluton Rayleigh. Known as One Piece's left arm. The third in command of Roger's pirates. Jabba the Copper.